Happy Sunday, I think. Unfortunate. It's Sunday. Tomorrow, a new week begins. Against my will. But hello. Happy time zone. Hello, Panis. Congrats on first. Hello, Rising. Hello, Amadis. Hello, Irom. Hello, Austin. Hello, Trace. Hope you're all doing good today. Hello, Tylo. Hi. I am very tired today. I slept a good 8 hours or so, even though I went to bed at like 2 a.m., but let's not talk about that. But I still feel so tired. Ooh, I want to go and sleep for the rest of the day, but Umineko awaits me. What horrors will await us in Rokkenjima today? Who knows? Maybe Maria will blow up. She's a ticking time bomb. Maybe if Rosa keeps abusing her, she will finally explode. Don't be sad when Monday comes. There will be +1 Witch Hat Atelier episode. That doesn't do me any good because I'm not watching them. I don't have a Crunchyroll subscription. I'm not watching any of that. I'm out of the loop. You know, I'm not in the loop at all. I can't watch it at the moment. Or never, because I will never buy a Crunchyroll subscription. Oh. That scene was so horrifying. It left a really bad taste in my mouth to end the stream on that note, but yeah. Good meowing rice. All I know about the anime is that they buffed Kiefer's chest. He looks really good. He looks really nice. I liked him in the manga already, so my boy looks good. And Joji is all like, "Oh, Batara-san, parents know best." Come on, man. Yeah, like I understand times were different, but were they that different? Typical fan service. I can't believe it. It's okay. He deserves it. He deserves big boobs. Big manly boobs. Anyway, talking about big manly boobs, I've been playing 100 Line and like basically nothing else, except I did play a little bit of Minecraft this weekend. It was very fun. I wanted to start building like some cabins in a snowy forest. And I did. I did. And now I don't know what to do. I'm thinking of building a castle. That'd be fun. But I have never built one before, but I want to try. It's kind of fun to play Minecraft. It's very relaxing. But yeah, other than that, I've just been playing 100 Line, and I've been in love. I said that I think I only have like one route left in the Don't Kill Ato path, but the route that I'm on right now opened up like 3 different branches, so I think I'll be there for a little while longer. May I suggest a dirt house? You know, if you build a Hobbit-style dirt house in the mountains, I think that could be very cute. I think that could be charming. I don't know about a dirt house out in the open, though. Oh, what if we just fall asleep for the next 4 hours? What if we take a short little nap? I think we all deserve it, right? We worked hard this week, and it's a Sunday, so it's a rest day. Yeah, it's the weekend. We should be allowed a little 4-hour nap as a treat or something like that. Oh yeah, I wanted to show everyone who didn't see the little Umineko spooky that Noah drew. Let me show you. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? Umi Spooky is looking directly at you. Enjoy a nap as a treat. Exactly. Oh, I can't wait to finish 100 Lines so I can finally also do something else with my life, like read other stuff. I'm so locked into it. Like even if I wanted to take a break, I can't. It's too interesting, you know? It's too good. I can't not continue playing it. It's too tempting to keep playing and reading, and they keep spoon feeding you the lore in a way that makes you come back every single time, and you're like, gosh, maybe in this route I will finally learn what the hell is happening. But they just continue spoon feeding you, and you just have to kind of accept that fact and go a little crazy. But that's just how it is. And I will gladly be spoon-fed more lore. I don't know if anything exciting happened over the weekend. I didn't really check Twitter all that much. I think I was on it like one time and that's it. So I don't know if anything cool happened. If it did, I missed all of it. And I'm very sorry. I have a feeling something big happened and I have no idea. Oh, I did hear of Subnautica 2 releasing in an early access build. Yeah, something like that. I haven't even played Subnautica normal 1. So I want to do that at some point, but I haven't. I think I played it a little bit one time. And I think I liked it. I don't know. I didn't play it for long enough to actually have an opinion on whether or not I liked it, but I do want to play Subnautica at some point. It's not the type of game I normally play and I'm scared of it, but I am also excited. I think it would be kind of cool. Subnautica is fun. Yeah, I heard. I know a lot of people love it. Also, hello Derek. Hi. Thank you for the 7 months Prime. I appreciate it. Thank you. I haven't played 1 yet, but I heard 2 has co-op. Reminds me of No Man's Sky. Yeah, I don't even know how the co-op works exactly, but it does sound fun. It does sound fun. I've never played No Man's Sky, so I can't comment on that either. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can say. I haven't played it. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I don't want to... This time, we will not yap for 30 minutes and then move on to the game. We're moving on to the game right now. Oh, I didn't think about adjusting this before I switched scenes. I will move myself into my little window here, and then we can play the game, maybe. Oh gosh, the water bottle is in the way. Where do I put you? Where do we put you? Do we spin you? And then we put you... I don't know. Like here? Maybe we don't spin you. Maybe we just put you... menacingly in the corner. I think that's good. I think that's awesome. Always looking at you. Hello, Zero. Oh, hope we're doing good today. Let me do that. And let me load. Oh, I also have a headache again. It is not my type of season because the weather keeps changing. It goes from really warm to super cold, and it never decides on what it wants to be. And so I have a migraine from the weather being a little bit difficult to work with lately. I hope it can finally decide on what it wants to be. The weather forecast for next week looks... in 2 weeks looks pretty good, which is when Dokumi is, when I actually don't want the weather to be good, because that means I'm gonna be sweating like crazy at Dokumi. I wanted to bundle up, wear a nice little sweater, you know, and you know, be comfy. But no, it's gonna be hot as hell. It's not gonna be comfy. I'm gonna sing, ooh, just one damn thing after another. Exactly. Good grief. Hope Dokumi is fun. Thank you. I will report back. I will probably be overwhelmed by the amount of people, but it'll be good. I'm sure. Something like that. It'll be okay. Probably. Who knows? Anyway. I'm trying to think of what happened last time, except for the child abuse version 2. Ryukishi really likes to include that in his games. Also, I need to adjust the game volume. I think last time it was fine in terms of volume, so I'm going to keep it as that. They... Child abuse _2. No! At least it's not cat abuse, you know? Also, hello, Blood. Hi, welcome in. Then we also had them kind of threaten Klaus, and Klaus threatened the other siblings back. It was kind of a threat fest, you know? Everyone was kind of being a meanie towards the other. I think we learned that Kanon is kind of spying for Kinzo. He is furniture after all. Maybe he can just actually transform into furniture. Maybe he's a wizard. Who knows? Yeah. That's about it. A meanie is definitely a way to put it. I don't know how else to say it and be nice about it. They were very hateful, spiteful towards each other. Is that better? More than a meanie. A little bit assholey even. They were very mean. I think that's it. I think that's it for the most part. I don't really remember anything else. They did talk about the little puzzle that Kinzo set up for finding the 10 tons of gold, but they couldn't really figure it out. They were stuck at, figuring out where what the hometown is even referring to. Because they think it might not be the Ushiromiya family hometown, but the one that Kinzo actually grew up in, but he won't tell them, so no one really knows. That's it. Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Beato stole Maria's rose. There's no way. They talked about her playing like pranks and like taking things that were there before and things just disappearing and stuff like that. And then a rose disappears that Maria was so sure was there in that spot. I'm so sure that Beato was just invisible and took that rose just for fun. Just to rage bait. It's nice to see that Spooky believes. Yes. Maria would be very proud of me. Anyway, I think that was it. Let's start reading. Kinzo noticed the sound of the raindrops beating on the window. It seemed to be pouring down thickly, not quickly. It had begun to rain later than the weather report had predicted. Oh, are we gonna get some crying action in a second? We love a good prankster, worthy of joining the club. Hello, mysterious emblem. Hi, welcome in. Kinzo approached the window as if being summoned by the sound of the rain. The sound of rain is a sound of silence. That sound feels quieter than any silence, and makes humans remember that, in the end, they are alone from the moment they're born to the moment they die. You're late, Beatrice. Were those words directed at the rainy sky? There was no one to be seen in the direction of Kinzo's gaze. What is he on now? Well then, let us begin. Let us begin our banquet of miracles. This island has now been cut off from the world. Now there are none who can interrupt my ceremony. There are many fitting sacrifices for you. Whoa. 4 of my children. 3 of their companions. Wait, how many had to die? Like 11? That would make 7. No! 4 of my grandchildren. Wait, that's all of them. Me and my guests and my servants. What guests? I guess Nanjo could be considered a guest. That's it. There's no one else here. Is there? You may devour as many as you please. The key of fate will select the sacrifices in accordance with the demon's roulette. Fate and demons in one sentence? That's crazy. Kinzo sees the exact right number of people on the boat and thinks, phew, I was getting worried for a second. Yeah. It's like, finally, all my sacrifices united. Imagine Batara wouldn't have come. He couldn't have started the banquet of miracles or whatever.
そのルーレットが私を選ぶならば、私すらもお前の生贄となる。
If that roulette chooses me, even I will become your sacrifice. Right, I forgot. The key chooses the sacrifices, so we'll see.
だが、だからこそなのだ。
However, because of that,
それだけの狂気をかけるからこそ。
because I will bet on such madness,
私は必ずや偉大な奇跡を起こすだろう。
I will most assuredly bring forth a grand miracle.
さあ、好きなだけ食らうがいい。
Come, devour to your heart's content.
私はそのルーレットに打ち勝つだろう。
I will achieve victory over that roulette.
さあ、すべてを落とすぞ。
Yes, I'll put everything on the line.
まずは後宮家の家督を返そう。
First, I'll return the inheritance of the Ushiromiya family.
受け取るがいい。
Accepted. Imagine the money just flies out the window, starts growing wings, and flies up the window to greet Beato somewhere up in the sky. Whatever, I don't know what's happening anymore. Maybe she really is a witch that just flies around on a broom. That'd be kind of funny. I could see it. Kenzo tore the window open, ripped a golden ring off his finger, and forcefully threw it away. At that time, the sound of thunder rang out, giving the illusion that the lightning had accepted the ring.
そしてお前が蘇った時、
And when you are resurrected,
そこにいるのは私であるだろう。
surely I will be the one who stands witness.
私が最後まで生き残り、お前の目覚めを見守るだろう。
I will survive until the end and watch over you as you awaken.
さあ来たれ、ベアトリーチェ。
So come, Beatrice.
ようこそ我が宴。
Welcome to my banquet.
私が生み出したすべてと引き換えに、私にもう一度だけ奇跡を見せておくれ。
In exchange for all that I have created, show me the miracle just this once.
おお、ベアトリーチェ。
The VA can do that line so good. It never stops being funny. Man, if I knew that was so short, I would have done this too last time. I thought we were gonna have a whole he goes insane scene again. He only went mildly insane. It was acceptable compared to the other times. A news ticker popped up on top of the TV program we were watching. The disaster report told how many municipalities all over were continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. Is that what he meant by he cut the island off because of the storm? I'm guessing that no plane or no boat would take them back home. Of course, the raindrops beating harshly on the window were even more convincing.
すっげえ降りだな。
This rain's incredible.
でもこれだけ盛大だとすぐに止みそうな気もするけどな。
Still, when it's raining this hard, it also feels like it might stop at any moment.
そりゃ雨ぜ。
You wish.
台風の速度が遅いそうだから、下手すりゃ明日も丸一日こんな調子らしいぜ。
They said the typhoon's moving slow, so it might be like this all day tomorrow.
ちょっとの天気でも船は欠航するもんだしよ。
And even a little bad weather stops the boats from coming.
やっぱり日曜日のうちには引き上げられないか。
It looks like we won't be able to head out on Sunday after all.
念のため月曜日に外部とのスケジュールを入れなくて正解だったよ。
What day is it even in game? Is it Friday? I don't know if they mentioned that. Just in case I cleared out all outside business from my Monday schedule, and I'm glad I did.
ってことは月曜の学校はサボれそうだな。
Which means, looks like we'll get to skip school Monday.
島生活ってのも悪くないもんだぜ。
Living on an island starting to sound pretty good.
そういや、ジェシカは登校って毎日船で通ってるわけだろ。
Come to think of it, Jessica, you've got to take a boat to school every day, don't you?
船が欠航したら学校はどうなるんだ？
What do you do when the boats stop running?
カメハメハ大王並みに雨が降ったらお休みで風が吹いたら遅刻してか？
Do you stay home when it rains and show up late when the wind's blowing like King Kamehameha? Kamehameha? Like the Dragon Ball thing?
船が出なきゃ休みになるぜ。
If the boats don't come, I stay
もっ
home.
ともそう甘くはねえけどな。
Still, it's not as good as it
大
sounds.
抵その代わりに自習が指示されて後でかっちりと見られるからそうそう気楽でもねえさ。
Usually, I'm ordered to study by myself, and it's not that fun with someone standing right behind you watching everything you do.
例えば梅雨なんかの長く天気が崩れる時期だと
During the rainy season, does the weather ever stay bad for a long
数
time
日間くらい登校できないこともあるんじゃねえのか？
and make you miss a bunch of days in a row?
そういうこともあるぜ。
That does happen
で
sometimes.
も毎日きっちり担任から電話がかかってきてどう自習しろ何を提出しろと酸っぱく指導されるけどな。
Still, I got a call from my homeroom teacher every single day who thoroughly guided me on how I should teach myself and what I had to turn in.
バトラ君が考えてるほど簡単にはサボれないよ。
She can't skip school as easily as you're imagining, Batora-kun. Hello, Flufo. Hello, Pita. Hi, hi. It's going good. It's going good. How is your weekend going?
船で通う人たちのルールに従ってしっかり勉強をしているよ。
She's got to follow the rules for people that travel to school by boat and get a good amount of studying done.
むしろ登校できた方が気楽だぜ。
It'd actually just be easier to go to
自
school.
分の部屋じゃ気が散るし集中もできねえしな。
In my own room, I get distracted and can't concentrate.
それでいて問題集ばっかり数日もやらされてるとかなり精神的に応えるもんがあるぜ。
After being made to do nothing but workbooks for several days straight, it's pretty hard to handle all that mental stress. Just got back from the airport. Oh wow. Where were you? Were you on vacation?
大学の時にはよ寮のあるところに入ってさっさとこんな不便な島はおさらばしたいもんだぜ。
When I get into college, I really just want to go to some dorm and quickly say goodbye to this inconvenient island.
へえ。
Huh? Okay.
じゃあよ、ちなみに行きは天気が良くても帰りは悪くて欠航ってなったらどうすんだ？
By the way, what do you do when the weather is good in the morning, but then gets so bad on your way home that the boats are closed?
学校に泊まるのか？
You spend the night at school? It sounds horrible. Barcelona? Ooh, I hope it was good. Hope you had a good time there. I've never been, but you know, a lot of people here in Germany love to go there every once in a while. Jishka's ready to say goodbye to Rokenjima. She doesn't seem to like it here very much. I personally would thrive on an island like this. I could handle Kinzo screaming at the top of his lungs for Beato. Because I love the sea. I think I would be okay with him screaming. It's like listening to the seagulls, you know? It's just one that's more annoying.
そういうのはよくあることだぜ。
That actually happens a lot.
だから祈祷できない人用の宿泊所があってよ。
Because of that, they've built some lodgings there for people who can't get back to the island they live
そ
on.
こに寝泊まりするんだよ。
That's where you'd spend the night.
下手すりゃ数日間家に帰れないこともあったりするぜ。
Sometimes when it gets really bad, you can't get back home for a few days at a time.
乗車率が 200% を超えるような満員電車で毎日通勤通学しなければならない人から見てみると
Someone commuting to school or work on a train packed to twice its capacity might carelessly think that
船の通学なんて趣があって良さそうだななんて無責任に思っちゃうけど
commuting by boat would be pretty interesting and
やっ
fun.
ぱりいろいろと苦労があるんだね
But it sounds like it comes with troubles of its own.
よく無神経な観光客がそういうこと言ってるぜ。
You hear thoughtless tourists saying stuff like that all the time. Hello, G-Men. Hi, hi. You ready to say, Genji, fix myself some Earl Grey? I do actually love Earl Grey, so yes, I would.
私は島の生活なんてもうお腹いっぱいだね。
I've had enough of island life.
早く高校出てこんな島とはおさらばしたいぜ。
I really just want to graduate high school and say goodbye to this island.
高校にだって全寮制のところとかあったろうよ。
But there are all dorm schools even for high school, right?
なんでわざわざ新島の学校を選んだんだよ。
Why'd you choose that Nijima school of all places?
私は最初からそれを希望してたぜ。
I've wanted to go to one of those from the
で
beginning.
もお袋がよ、当主後継ぎとしての修行やらマナーやらがうんぬんってうるさくてよ。
But mom's always going on about how I need to learn manners and discipline as the successor. Hello, Nue. Hi, hi. Genji, a cup of your finest. Exactly. Give me that Earl Grey. How are you today? Look, everyone, Nue made this wonderful sprite. I fit right in with the rest of them, don't I? I should go here in the corner. Oh, that's really fun. Wait, can I, like, tilt it ever so slightly? That's really funny. That's really good. I'm finishing Dawn Trail MSQ right now. Wow, you're really far into it. I only made it to Heaven's Word. I haven't continued. You look like the HD update. I'm very proud. It looks so good. I am shocked at how well you were able to replicate the general art style. It looks so good. I'm gonna put her here. I think that's really funny. Thank you. Hello, Ayo. Hi, hi. Isn't that so cool? Isn't that so sick? Alright, let me shout out Nue, actually. I haven't shouted them out in a while. They have a model by Shirota as well. You should check them out. Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? How are you, Ayo?
結局高校も地元になっちまったのさ。
So, I ended up sticking close to home, even for high school.
こんな島はごめんだぜ。
Man, I hate this island.
早く都会で生活したいよ。
I just want to go live in a city.
雨が降ろうが槍が降ろうがラフな格好でサンダルを履けば。
I don't care if rain or even spears fall from the sky, as long as I can move to a city where I can wear casual clothes and
5
sandals,
分足らずでコンビニに行けるような都会に引っ越したいぜ。
and can get to a convenience store in less than 5 minutes.
もう少しの辛抱だよ。
Hold out just a little longer. You will escape, Rokenjima. Trust. She won't die, surely. I'm good, just making some coffee to wake up. Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the coffee.
高校卒業まであとちょっとでしょ。
Just a bit more and you'll graduate high school, right?
そのちょっとも我慢できねえぜ。
I can't wait a little longer. Dishka stretched out and reclined on the sofa. Maybe it was a bad time slot because there weren't any interesting programs on, and we had nothing to do but languidly kill time until we were called for dinner. I have never seen that word before. Languidly. Relaxed, slowly, with little energy or effort. Okay. After that episode, Maria never returned to the cousin's room after all. Aunt Rosa probably took her back to the mansion. No, she did not. It had to be pretty boring for Maria all by herself while the adults had a confusing conversation. We thought we might as well head over to the mansion to see her, but the weather really was awful. And since there wasn't much time until dinner, we stayed where we were. At that time, we heard the sound of a humble knock. Jishka answered.
お食事の準備が整いました。
The preparations for dinner are
お
complete.
屋敷へお越しください。
Please come to the mansion. It was Kanon-kun's voice. Did he go to all the trouble of coming from the mansion in this rain just to get us? Couldn't he have just called us on the telephone? Well, I guess servants at work don't always get to take the most efficient route.
なんとなく お腹が空いてきた頃だったしね。
Just when I was getting hungry.
行こうか。
Let's go. Joji and Nikki turned off the television and stood up.
俺はとっくにペコペコ。
My stomach's been growling for a while.
本家の晩餐は毎回凝ってるしな。
I've always been a huge fan of the main family's
それに
dinners.
ゴーダさん、子牛のステーキとか言ってなかったっけ？
Didn't Goda-san say it was a calf steak or something?
たまらねえぜ。
Ooh, I can't wait.
親族会議の日は特に豪華になるしな。
Dinners are always even more fabulous than usual when the family conference comes around.
私だって楽しみだぜ。
Even I'm looking forward to
行
it.
こう行こ
Let's go, let's go. As we left the room, Kanon-kun bowed silently and respectfully.
う。じゃあ行こうぜ。
Okay, let's go.
外の降りはだいぶひどいだろ
Is the rain pretty nasty out there?
はい。
Yes.
お召し物を濡らさぬよう十分ご注意ください。
Not to get your garments wet. After seeing the three of us out, Kanon-kun peered into the empty room.
マリア様はいらっしゃいませんか？
Wasn't Maria-sama with you? Ah, no, she's still out in the rain, all alone. I'm getting hungry. Yeah, me too. I need some good food.
う。一緒じゃないぜ。
No, she's not.
ローザおばさんと一緒じゃないのかよ。
Wasn't she with Aunt Rosa? How about that? Rosa was lying on a sofa in the empty parlor, having fallen asleep before she knew it. She was bearing a burden that the children couldn't even imagine. That's why she only needed to let her guard down a little before the weariness immediately dragged her into the world of sleep. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket over to her. When he tried to spread it over her, her eyes snapped open as though she'd been shocked with electricity.
ありがとう。源氏さんなのね。
Thank you, Genji-san. When she realized that the thing that had touched her was just a blanket and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let out a sigh of relief.
起こしてしまいましたか。
Did I wake you?
失礼いたしました。
My sincere apologies.
いえ、いいの。
No, it's okay.
寝るつもりじゃなかったから。
I hadn't planned on sleeping in the first place. I wonder if that reaction was due to something that happened in the past or something, or if it's just normal, oh my god, I'm half asleep and something touched me, I'm scared type of reaction.
今は何時なの？
What time is it now? When he was asked for the time, Genji checked a pocket watch that he took out of his chest pocket.
6時を少し過ぎたところです。
It is slightly after 6. Rosa gave her head a little shake when she realized that not much time had actually passed, even though it felt like she'd slept for ages. Even though she didn't feel rested at all, the drowsiness that had enveloped her must have been pretty deep.
ありがとう。毛布は結構よ。
Thank you. I'll be fine without the blanket.
変な時間に眠っちゃダメね。
I mustn't sleep at such a strange time.
すっかり時間の感覚が狂っちゃったわ。
My sense of time has been completely thrown off.
雨、
The rain
とうとう降り出したのね。
has finally started pouring down in earnest, hasn't it? Rosa finally realized that the peaceful sound that had put her to sleep was actually the rain.
風もだいぶ出てるよね。
The wind's blowing hard too. The rain is actually really peaceful. Hello, Nayut. Hi, hope you're doing it today. I do fall asleep to rain sounds most nights. You know what they say? Time flies when you're beating children. Your children specifically, too. Oh, man. Maybe Genji should just beat her awake next time.
いよいよ台風なのかしら。
I wonder if the typhoon's finally here.
そのようにテレビでは申しております。
That's what they said on TV.
遅い台風だそうで、明日いっぱいはこんな調子だそうです。
The typhoon is moving slowly, so they think it'll be like this all day tomorrow.
そう。
Really?
この素敵なバラ庭園も日中のあれが見納めだったのね。
So our last chance to see that wonderful rose garden must have already passed by. From the window, what you could see of the rose garden was completely blurred by the wind and the rain. Will she ever remember that she left her daughter alone outside?
マリア。
Okay, there we go.
そうだ。マリアは？
Maria, That's right. What about Maria?
私はお見かけしておりませんが、
I have not seen her.
ゲストハウスにお戻りではないでしょうか。
Did she not return to the guest house? Rosa knew her daughter's nature well, so a chill ran down her spine. Maria was stubbornly honest, and if she was ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look forever and ever, even in pouring rain.
違うわ。いとこの子たちは先に行ってしまったから、あそこにはマリア一人。
No, the cousins left before I did, so Maria was
あの
alone.
子は誰かにもうやめろと言われない限り、たとえ槍が降ってこようとあそこに居続けるわ。
Unless someone told her to stop, she'd stay there even if it started raining spears,
傘もささずに。
without even opening an umbrella.
私は感情に任せてなんてことを。
How could I have lost control of my emotions and done such a thing? Even though she'd known about Maria's simple honesty better than anyone, she'd once again lost control of her emotions and done something terrible.
Maria!
Once again, how often does it happen? I'm so hyped. One of my favorite moments and my best OST is close. I remember getting the goosebumps. Okay, I'm excited for it. Rosa pushed Genji away and ran down the hall. Didn't have to push him. The outside really looked like a typhoon, and the rain was pouring down spectacularly. Maybe because of some aspect of the terrain, the winds were in typhoon class, so an umbrella wouldn't be torn out of one's hands. Even so, it certainly was a windy rain. There was no time to admire the roses being drenched.
とりあえず今はマリアが気になるぜ。
Yeah, you should be. Anyway, I'm getting pretty worried about Maria. Hello, Laika. Hi, welcome in. Thank you for the 5-stream streak. Only on days that end in Y. Ooh, what?
まさかあの後も
Oh, I
ず
get
っ
it.
と一人でへそ曲げて
So wait,
あそこでバラ探しをしてるなんてことはないよな。
there's no day that doesn't end in Y, is there? There is no day that doesn't end with Y. Is it any different in German? What is that? Mittwoch. We have Mittwoch, which is basically, if you translated it directly, would mean midweek. That is Wednesday. Donnerstag, Freitag, Samstag, Sonntag. The other ones always have day at the end as well. I guess it also has slightly nicer in German then. Exactly. One day. She gets one break per week. You don't think she's still rebelliously searching for that rose alone, do you?
そうだね。
I wonder.
さすがにこの雨じゃ。
Surely she wouldn't do it in this rain.
と思いたいところだけど、マリアちゃんはたまにすごく頑固で、ものすごく愚直な時がある。
Or at least I wish I could believe that, but Maria-chan sometimes gets really stubborn and intensely straightforward. We hadn't worried much thinking that Aunt Rosa had taken her back to the mansion. However, when Kanan-kun had come from the mansion to call us and thought Maria was here, we got a little worried.
お屋敷ではお見かけしませんでしたので、てっきりこちらにおられるとばかり。
I did not see her in the mansion, so I was sure she was
ロー
here.
ザ様は仮眠を取られておいででしたので。
After all, Rosa-sama was taking a nap.
ここに来る途中に見かけなかったのかよ。
You didn't see her on your way over here?
申し訳ございません。
My apologies.
傘を差し、急ぎ駆け抜けたもので、そこまでの注意を払いませんでした。
I opened my umbrella and ran as fast as I could, so I did not pay much attention. He sounds so much like Satoshi. I cannot get it out of my head. Maria-chan is gonna save this family from its terrible business decisions. I sure hope so. Someone needs to save this family. From itself. If he had cut through the rose garden, taking the shortest line between the mansion and the guest house, then he would have just barely missed the place where Maria had been looking for her rose. And it was raining this hard too. It certainly would have been possible for Kanon-kun to fail to notice her.
ここで議論するより直接確かめる方が早いさ。
Instead of arguing around here, it'd be faster to just check it out directly.
兄貴、ちょいとかけっこと行こうじゃねえかよ。
Aniki, why don't we race over there?
6年成長したから僕に勝てるつもりかい？
Oh, do you think you can beat me now that you've been growing for 6 years?
よし、決着をつけようじゃないか。
Okay, let's settle this.
行こう。
Go. This is not the time for a race. Joji, Aniki, and I flew out into the rain. Deshka and Kanon-kun followed us.
マリアいるなら返事をしなさい
Maria, if you're there, answer me.
ローザおばさんだ。
It's Aunt
おば
Rosa.
さん
Hey, Aunt Rosa. When Joji Aniki called back, Aunt Rosa jumped at him and grabbed onto him.
マリアはどこ
Where's Maria?
ジョージ君たちと一緒じゃないの
Isn't she with you?
いえ、僕たちはあの後、マリアちゃんには出会ってません。
No, we didn't meet with Maria-chan after that.
Maria!
6 years ago, Maria was 3 years old. She was a cute and pure kid who just accepted whatever anyone said. But 6 years have passed since then. She's 9 now and experiencing the ups and downs of life should have taught her something. But Maria, are you telling me you're still as innocent and pure as you used to be?
マリア
I hope they find her. Some of these VAs are the same as Higurashi, right? I assumed what's her name was Takano's VA. Emma has the same VA as Takano, and Batora has the same VA as Akasaka, and Kanon has the same VA as Satoshi. I looked into Umineko like a bird. That scarecrow! As I circled the rose bed, something white unexpectedly turned to face me. It was a white umbrella. Maria was crouching down, holding a white umbrella and still searching for that rose. At least she has an umbrella, she's totally fine. Where did she get that umbrella from? Umineko on the side watching this all play out. I love how smug the expression is. Her face, which had turned bright red from her crying her eyes out, was dirtied with water and mud. It was a truly pitiful sight.
お前まだ探してたのか
Maria, are you still looking?
見つからない
Can't find it.
マリアのバラ
Can't find
見つからない
my rose. Maria had probably been here since the rain started pouring down. Her shoulders were freezing. She looked tired to the bone, but fortunately, since she was holding an umbrella, she wasn't completely soaked. The umbrella probably came from the handbag Maria always carried around. Thank goodness. Seriously, thank goodness.
バトラ君、よかった。見つけたんだね。
Batora-kun, thank goodness you found her.
ごめんなさい本当にごめんなさい
I'm so sorry. Aunt Rosa threw her umbrella aside and hugged Maria.
ない
It's not here.
マリアのバラがない
My rose isn't here.
後でママも一緒に探してあげるから
I'll look for it with you later. Okay?
だから今日はお預けにしなさい
So just put it on hold for today. Okay?
今日はお預け
Put it on hold for today. It looked like Maria still wasn't able to accept it, but she no longer had enough energy left to resist. Deshka and Kanon-kun caught up with us.
すぐにお屋敷でタオルの用意をさせましょう。
I'll have a towel ready in the mansion immediately.
マリアずっとここにいたのか
Maria, were you here this whole time?
ごめんね
I'm sorry.
本当に悪いママでごめんね
I'm sorry for being such a bad mother.
ローザおばさん、とりあえずお屋敷に行きましょう。
Let's hope this doesn't happen again. Aunt Rosa, why don't we head back to the mansion for the time
このま
being?
まじゃマリアちゃん、風邪をひいちゃう。
If we stay here, Maria will catch a cold.
そうね
You're right.
マリア行きましょ
Maria, let's go.
うちゃんときれいにしないとおじい様に怒られちゃうわよ
If we don't get you cleaned up, grandfather will be mad.
お腹すいた
Hungry.
もう食事の時間だぜ。
It's already time to eat.
マリアはよく頑張ったよ。
You did a good job holding out Maria.
天気が良くなったら私たちも一緒に探してやるから。
Once the weather gets better, we'll all go search together. I have a feeling there will be no roses left after this is over. We couldn't stay in the rain forever. We took Maria with us and we headed back to the mansion. Maria apparently wasn't as worn out as I thought. When she remembered we were having calf steak for dinner, she started chanting, "I'm hungry, I'm hungry, ooh, ooh," and returned to her usual spirited self. Aunt Rosa didn't chide Maria for saying ooh, ooh.
そっか、
I see.
傘を持っていたのか。
So she had an umbrella on
さ
her.
すがマリアは物持ちがいいぜ。
Maria sure is good at packing the right stuff.
マリア、傘なんか持ってない。
I knew it! I knew it! I didn't bring an umbrella.
うん。
I knew that it wasn't hers when it was mentioned so explicitly. What if what if a witch gave it to her? What if the umbrella just spawned beside her then? It's already too late for Maria. Her flesh has tasted a drop of water. She'll be bedridden for at least a week. No! She has to take a hot bath and then everything is fine. Hello, Noelle. Hi, welcome in. What if? I'm assuming that it was a certain type of witch.
なんだよ。じゃあその手に持ってる白い傘はどうしたんだよ。
What? Then how did you get that white umbrella you're holding?
貸してもらった。
I borrowed it. Some caring person must have brought her an umbrella. A normal kid who would look for shelter once it started raining, but Maria was too stubborn to give up so easily. So maybe that caring person gave up on telling Maria to find shelter, then decided to at least give her an umbrella.
そう、
I see.
その人にお礼を言わないとね。
I'll have to thank that person.
誰？
Who was it?
ベアトリーチェ。
Whoa! Beatrice! The name Maria tearfully mentioned was that of the island's witch. Rosa took a deep breath and asked again, trying to do so in a way that wouldn't damage Maria's good mood.
そう、よかったわね。
Really? That's wonderful. Oh, we're getting closer to seeing her finally. It just flew over to her on the wind, I'm sure. Yeah. The sound effect is so good. It kind of has the same effect as the bells in Higurashi, you know? It has a similar effect. It's slightly creepy and ominous.
それで誰なの？
So, who was it?
傘を持ってきてくれた人は。
Who brought you that umbrella?
おお、ベアトリーチェ。おお、
Maria immediately realized that her mother didn't believe her and started crying out unhappily again. So Rosa stopped pursuing the subject. It'd probably be faster to ask whoever lent Maria the umbrella during dinner rather than ask Maria herself. Well. That's kind of mean of her to steal the rose, probably, and then give her an umbrella knowing that she would keep looking for the rose that isn't there anymore. Strange. Maybe she didn't steal the rose. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit as a troll. Maybe she just is that nice of a person and really just gave her the umbrella. Well.
せめて晩餐にだけは出席してください。
Father, please at least join us for dinner.
これでは親族会議になりません。
It won't be a family conference otherwise. Along with a dull pounding on the door, the sound of Klaus's entreaty could be heard. However, that voice seemed to be resigned to the fact that nothing it said would be heard.
金蔵さん、せめて夕食くらいは出んかね。
Kinzo-san, won't you at least come out for dinner?
あんたの顔を見ようと、息子さんたちが集まってきてるんじゃないか。
All your children have gathered here to see your face, haven't they?
黙れ南條。
Silence, Nanjo.
ビショップが聞かんか。
So, the bishop won't work.
言って足りぬ。
One move too short. The chess. Maybe the rose just flew away. Perhaps she's a jerk like everyone else on this island. I would like to believe that she's nice. Maybe, hopefully, who knows. Apparently, Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match with Nanjo. Kinzo's brow was wrinkled as he continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Klaus's voice didn't reach his ears.
金蔵さん、私も腹が減った。
No, I'm sorry, Nanjo. You're being held hostage against your will. Kinzo-san, I'm hungry myself. I was actually playing chess before the stream started, and I kid you not, I won against someone called Beatrice. No way. That's actually really cool. Were you playing it online?
下に降りて食事をせんか。
Why don't we go down and eat?
ならばお前だけで行くといい。
Go by yourself if that's what you want.
私はもうしばらくこの一手を吟味させてもらうぞ。
Let me consider this next move for a little longer.
今夜で決着をつけてやる。
We're going to finish it tonight.
さもなくばお前との決着は金輪際つけられそうにないからな。
Otherwise, it's doubtful we'll finish before the world ends. How long have they been playing playing this game? Did they mention that? It just said long-lasting. Nanjo rose from his seat, hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same, but Kinzo's eyes never left the chessboard. He knew well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to chess, but he'd never seen Kinzo concentrate as hard as this. It was almost as though Kinzo was telling the truth, and there would never be another chance for them to continue their contest if they didn't finish tonight. It seemed that no matter how obstinately he called out to Kinzo, it wouldn't reach the latter's heart. Nanjo gave up and headed to the door that Klaus was still banging on. The door to the study opened. Wow, it's that sound. The sound of all time. It was an account from the UK, so I guess it's pronounced the English way. Beatrice, wow. Klaus was taken aback, thinking that maybe Kinzo was actually coming out. However, Nanjo was the one who appeared, and Klaus let out a sigh of relief.
南條先生、
Relief? Do you not want your father to come down then? Dr.
親
Nanjo,
父殿は
his father...
お役に立てなくて申し訳ございませんな。
I'm sorry I couldn't be of service.
今や金蔵さんの世界はこの部屋だけです。
Right now, this room is Kinzo-san's whole world. Nanjo shook his head with a completely defeated expression. What if they just brought the food there and everyone just camped out in front of his door? Then they could have a dinner with him, at least. Klaus raised his fist once more and banged on the door, shouting,
お父さん、聞こえますか？
Father, can you hear me?
私たちは下へおりますが、気が向かれたらいつでもおいでください。
We're heading down now, but please join us anytime you feel like it.
息子兄弟一同、ずっとお待ちしておりますよ。
All of your children are waiting for you. His voice was very loud, and he was making a racket pounding on the door. There was no way it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. Well, it certainly was reaching him, but he ignored it anyway. However, unlike the time he'd been called down for lunch, he didn't fly into a rage. By now, Kinzo was calm at heart, almost as though he had taken on a philosophical view and turned himself over to fate.
晩餐にも息子たちの顔にも興味はない。
Neither dinner nor the faces of my children interest me in the slightest.
私がここを出るのはベアトリーチがよみがえる時か、私が鍵の生贄に選ばれた時だけだ。
I will only leave here if Beatrice is resurrected or if I'm chosen as a sacrifice for the key.
もう悪魔のルーレットは回っている。
The demon's roulette has already started spinning.
今さら晩餐に何の意味があろう。
What meaning does dinner have at this point? As though the painfully loud banging on the door completely failed to enter his hearing, Kinzo silently thought about his next chess move, still in his philosophical state. Just as always, Kinzo's figure couldn't be seen anywhere in the dining hall. Klaus, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo.
親父殿は相変わらず ご気分が優れられないそうだ。
Can't they just tell him, hey, you know, Maria says she got an umbrella from Beato. Maybe you can come down. She has been resurrected. She's back. Amadis was chosen as the sacrifice then. I'm sorry to say, you'll be killed soon enough. Father says he's still not feeling well.
年に一度の親族が集まるこの機会に同席できないことを非常に残念がられておられた。
He truly regrets missing this once-a-year opportunity to sit together with his gathered family. Eva and Rudolf snickered. Is that how you say it? It sounds so wrong. Isn't it like snicker? Or is that? I know that's a snack, like a food, like a little chocolate bar, but isn't it snickering when you laugh? I don't know. Given Kinzel's personality, there was no way he'd show signs of regret. And none of his relatives showed any regret at his absence. So sad. No one really cares. There's no way witches exist. No way. We'll see about that. Who's that in the corner? I wonder. Hello, Grok. Hi. Hope we're doing good today. This little sprite was drawn by Nue. It's me. Both are similar terms. I see. You look hungry. Have a Snickers. Yeah, maybe someone should give Kinzo a Snickers. Maybe then he would come down for dinner once he has calmed down a little bit.
ではディナーを始めようじゃないか。
Then why don't we start dinner?
ゴーダ、始めたまえ。
Goda, begin. It's kind of wild that they're just gonna have a normal family dinner after everything that went down today. You know, the siblings were kind of going at each other's throats, and then Rosa basically beat up her own child. I'm surprised that she doesn't have, like, any marks on her face and whatnot, even though she was hit hard enough to tumble onto the floor and everything. This is kind of wild. This family is kind of crazy.
かしこまりました。
And then this guy shows up. I kind of hate him. I don't know.
それでは始めさせていただきます。
Certainly. Well then, if you will allow me. When Goda was told to start the family conference dinner, his biggest time to shine of the whole year, he nodded with a broad grin.
マリアに傘を貸してくれた人は誰かしら？
May I ask who lent Maria an umbrella? When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone noticed.
傘？
An umbrella?
何の話？
What's this about?
さっきマリアがバラ庭園にいた時に雨が降り出して。
A short while back, Maria was in the rose garden when it started raining.
誰かに白い傘を借りたみたいなんだけど、お礼が言いたくて。
And she apparently borrowed a white umbrella from someone. I wanted to thank them.
俺たちじゃねえぜ。
It wasn't one of us.
ローザが出てった後は部屋を移してずっと仲良くおしゃべりをしてたからな。
After you left, we moved to a different room and had a friendly chat the whole time.
はは、そうやで。
That's right.
あの後も兄弟で仲良くおしゃべりをしとったのや。
Even after that, the siblings had a real friendly chat. The word friendly fell awkward from Hideyoshi's lips, so even those who hadn't been present could tell the conversation hadn't been a pleasant one.
少なくとも
I didn't
私
expect
とエヴ
anything
ァと
else.
ルドルフとあと秀吉さんと桐江さんではないことも確かだがね。
At the very least, it couldn't have been me, Eva, Rudolf, Hideyoshi-san, or Kirie-san.
私たちは夏日姉さんとローザさんが出て行った後もずっと一緒だったわ。
We were together the whole time, even after Natsuhine-san and Rosa-san left.
食事の時間までずっとね。
The whole time until the meal started.
兄さんは源氏さんと一緒にお父様を呼びに上の書斎へ。
Nii-san went up to the study with Genji-san to call father.
私たちはそのまま食堂へ直行したもの。
At that time, the rest of us went straight to the dining
だ
hall.
から私たちではないわね。
So it wasn't one of us.
傘を貸すなんて親切。使用人の誰かじゃないの？
Couldn't it have been a servant kind enough to lend an umbrella?
じゃあゴーダさん？
So was it you, Goda-san?
私はずっと 厨房で準備をしておりましたもので。
I have been in the kitchen the whole time preparing.
申し訳ございません。
My sincere apologies. Oda looked slightly disappointed about missing this chance to show off. I'm not surprised. I hate this guy. At that time, Shannon and Kumasawa appeared, pushing a serving cart loaded with oh god. French. Oh, it's been a couple of years. What? How would you say this? What is this even? Pronounced, and then I can't even read that. What is that supposed to be? What? This is what Google says it's supposed to be pronounced. I don't understand. Oh, can I not post it in the chat? It's not showing up for me. That's... Oh, wait, it's not showing up in the OBS chat, but it's showing up in my stream chat. Like, in the stream. Interesting. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Roll your R and enunciate some letters. I don't know. That's the phonetic spelling. It's a whole thing. Whatever. Okay, what is this? Bite-sized, flavorful food served before a main meal. So appetizers. Why can't we just say appetizers? Why do we have to have it in French? Unironically close. Not even a joke. Oh god.
じゃあ熊沢さんかシャノンちゃんかしら。
Appetizers are for the poor. Yeah, you have to have a really fancy word for it. Otherwise, you're just poor. I'm sorry. Then what about Kumasawa-san or Shannon-chan?
はい。何か粗相がございましたでしょうか？
Yes? Has something gone wrong? Because Shannon had come in part way, she shrank back, mistakenly thinking that the others were searching for the one responsible for some error. Oh no.
違うよ。
It isn't like
マ
that.
リアちゃんがバラ庭園に一人でいた時に雨が降ってきてね。
It started to rain when Maria-chan was alone in the rose
誰か
garden.
が傘を貸してくれたんだよ。
After that, someone lent her an
ロ
umbrella.
ーザおばさんがその人にお礼を言いたいって言うのさ。
Aunt Rosa said she wanted to thank that person.
ああ、ベアトリーチェ。
Maria, her mouth a thin line, said the witch's name in a small voice. Aunt Rosa explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled.
私たちでもございませんよ。
It wasn't us.
私もシャノンさんも一緒にお部屋の準備をしておりましたから、お外には出ておりません。
Shannon-san and I were preparing the rooms together, so we did not go outside.
はい。気が利かなくてすみません。
Yes, I'm sorry I wasn't able to be of assistance. They didn't make bank on post-World War II Japanese reconstruction, so they could call their pre-meal snacks appetizers like the peasants. Yeah. I get it. They had to be super fancy. Appetizers are for the common folk. For
部
me,
屋の準備
preparing the
とは
rooms.
何のことかね。
What do you mean by that?
この雨ですから。
Because of the rain.
客人の皆さんがゲストハウスにお帰りになられるのも大変かと思って。
We thought it would be troublesome for all of the guests to return to the guest house.
使用人たちに屋敷内の客室の準備をするように命じたのです。
So the servants were ordered to prepare the guest rooms inside the mansion.
あら、気が利くじゃない。
Really? How thoughtful.
そうね。この雨の中、表に追い出すのは失礼だものね。
Yes, it certainly would be rude to chase us outside in this rain.
もう予算か。
Could you give it a rest? Emma deserves to be chased outside. She can stay in the guest house. You do not get a room. Eva's always ready to fire. She is waiting for the moment to jump at her throat at any given time.
はい。奥様からそのようにご指示を受けまして、私と熊沢さんとカノン君の3人で準備をしておりました。
Yes, after receiving the order from Madam, Kumasawa-san, Kanon-kun, and I started preparing the
そ
rooms.
して ご夕食の時間になり、源氏様からゲストハウスのお子様方をお呼びするようご指示をいただいたため。
Then it became time for dinner, so Genji-sama ordered Kanon-kun to go to the guest house and summon the children.
ええ。ですから、カノンさんがゲストハウスに行かれるときに、マリアさんを見つけて、傘をお渡ししたのではありませんか？
Yes, so did Kanon-san find Maria on the way to the guest house and hand her the umbrella?
ほー。
The wind and the thunder at the same time that she's starting to get really annoyed. I'd like to chase her outside. Get the hell out of here!
違う！
Wrong! The person who had actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who had lent the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. And she thought asking like this with everyone gathered for dinner would work immediately.
じゃあ夏日姉さん？
Then was it you, Natsuhine-san?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
私は皆さんとの仲良くの語らいの後、頭痛がひどかったので自分の部屋で休んでいました。
After everyone's friendly chat, my headache was so bad that I have been resting in my room.
ですから表へは出ていません。
Therefore, I did not go outside.
なら誰なの？
Then who was it?
ジョージ君たち？
Joji-kun and the kids?
なわけないわよね。
That can't be right.
いえ、僕たちじゃありません。
No, it wasn't us.
僕たちはずっとゲストハウスでテレビを見てました。
We were watching television in the guest house the whole time.
むしろ私たちはマリアはおばさんと一緒に屋敷に行ったとばかり。
Actually, we thought Maria had just gone back to the mansion with you.
そこへカノン君が来て、マリアは一緒じゃないのかと聞いたんで、初めて屋敷にはいないのかって分かったんだよ。
Then Kanon-kun came, and he asked whether Maria was with us. That's when we first realized that she wasn't in the mansion.
第一俺だったら、傘を貸すより先に、手引っ張って屋根の下に連れて行くぜ。
I mean, if it were me, I'd have grabbed her hand and pulled her under a roof before giving her an umbrella. Rosa was completely baffled. One by one, the relatives and the servants denied that they had done it, even though it really wasn't something anyone would need to hide. So by process of elimination, the number of remaining candidates wasn't large.
もちろん私でもありませんな。
Of course, it wasn't me.
雨が降り始めてすぐの頃、金蔵さんの部屋を訪ねて、ついさっきまで一緒にチェスをしておりました。
Right after it began raining, I visited Kinzo-san's room, and I was playing chess with him until just now. That soundtrack scared me. Oh my god. I know how it is, Natsuhi. Yeah.
ということはおじいさまでもないよね。
Which means that it also wasn't grandfather.
なんだなんだ。
Grandfather? Does she mean Kinzo? Chess soundtrack. Is this what you listen to when playing chess? Hello, Lark Luna. Wait a sec.
妙な話になってきたぜ。
Isn't this starting to get a bit weird?
あと残るのは誰だ？
Who's left?
じゃあ誰？
Then who was it?
源氏さん？
Genji-san? Huh?
ちょっと待って。勘違いしないでくれる？
Wait a second. Don't get me wrong.
別に私は何かの犯人探しをしてるんじゃないのよ。
It's not like I'm searching for some culprit or anything.
雨の中のマリアに傘を差し伸べてくれた人に母としてお礼が言いたいだけなの。
All I want to do is, as a mother, thank the person who gave Maria an umbrella in the middle of the rain. Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. Despite that, no one raised their hand. Why not? Everyone started whispering about how strange this was getting.
落ち着けよローザ。
Calm down,
傘
Rosa.
を借りた本人に聞けばいいじゃねえか。
Why don't we just ask the person who was lent the umbrella? That's what everyone had been thinking since the beginning. They were all scratching their heads at why she didn't just ask Maria, who had been given the umbrella. However, Rosa bit her lower lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer if asked.
どうりや。
Of course!
ルドルフ君の言う通りやないか。
Rudolph-kun here's got it right.
マリアちゃん、おじさんに教えてえな。
Maria-chan, tell your uncle.
マリアちゃんに傘を貸してくれたのは誰や？
Who lent you the umbrella?
ベアトリーチェ。
The dining hall was wrapped in silence for an instant, but it was soon interrupted by a burst of laughter. She's the chosen one. Beatrice! That's pretty, even in the old drawings. Yeah, I think all of the characters look really good in this style. I'm gonna have to say that I prefer the Ryukishi style over the console sprites that I have seen. They have more charm, in my opinion. I feel like in Higurashi, it was pretty 50-50. I liked both of them very much, but I stuck with the Ryukishi ones because I thought they had more soul, you know, as people say. But in this case, I actually just think the Ryukishi ones look better. They convey the expressions a bit better. I don't know. Maybe they just look funnier, and that's why I like them. Anyway, there's gonna be an ad break very soon, so I'm gonna take a little 3-minute break, and then we can continue reading. Okay, I'm back. I didn't even realize that I went into the ending soon until I got up from my chair and I looked back and I was like, ending soon? I'm not ending soon. I should maybe put the ending scene somewhere else so I don't accidentally click on it, because that's not the first time it happened. Thank you. Welcome back to you too, Fita. Boogie up so hard she's ending early. Starting soon. Yeah, that would be a better fit. Yeah. All right. Let me tab back into the game. Ugh.
なるほど。森の魔女ベアトリーチェが不憫に思って傘を貸してくれたか。
I see. So Beatrice, the witch of the forest, felt pity and lent her an umbrella.
いい話じゃないかね。
What a lovely story.
ローザ、そういうことだ。
Rosa, there you have it. Rosa couldn't believe it. Even though she just wanted to say thanks for the umbrella, why did everything have to be so clouded in smoke? Just like Uncle Klaus said. Beatrice let me borrow it. Why does no one believe her? She knows what she looks like. You know, the siblings are not gonna let Rosa forget the story. Yeah. But maybe they will start to believe her. Maybe they'll be like, yeah, maybe she did actually see Beato. I see how it is. Maria can have but Rosa is allowed to have the
それはよかった。
Isn't that wonderful?
無垢だというのは実に羨ましいことではないか。
We should all be jealous of such purity.
なあ、諸君。
What do you think, everyone? Klaus was laughing with a face that was clearly mocking, but Maria was overjoyed, apparently convinced that her claim was being believed.
一体どうなってんの？
How did that work?
まさか本当に魔女が現れて傘を貸したってのかよ。
Does that mean a witch really appeared and lent her an umbrella? Jessica asked me in a small voice that wouldn't carry over to Maria, who was sitting across from me.
マリアって冗談が言えるタイプだっけ？
Has Maria ever been the type to make jokes? If we'd heard that kind of story pop out of my old bastard's mouth, we would have just taken it as another joke. However, it was hard to explain it away like that when Maria said it. This was getting pretty unnerving.
いや。
There's a secret person here in this mansion that no one can see because she is invisible.
昔から愚直なぐらい正直で真面目だよ。
No way. She's always been frank and
普
serious.
通なら聞いただけで嘘とわかるような冗談すら鵜呑みにするタイプだぜ。
She's the sort who'd believe any joke, even ones normal people could instantly tell were lies.
マリアから冗談を言い出すなんて聞いたこともない。
I've never even heard of her cracking a joke. Aunt Rosa probably knew that better than anyone. It appeared that because of this weird situation, she had no idea what was going on anymore.
じゃあ、マリアがベアトリーチェに傘を借りたと言ったなら、それは間違いなくベアトリーチェなのか。
So if Maria says she borrowed an umbrella from Beatrice, that must mean it really was Beatrice?
マリアに関してだけは何かの比喩とか冗談とかそういうことは考えられねえぜ。
We're talking about Maria here, so I can't think of it as some kind of metaphor or joke.
額面通りの意味だと思うべきだろうよ。
It might be best to take what she says at face value.
じゃあなんだよ。
Then what's going on?
源氏さんあたりがあの肖像画のごついドレスを着てマリアに傘を持って行ってやったっていうのか？
Are you saying Genji-san or someone put on that fancy dress from the portrait and gave Maria the umbrella?
そんなことは知らねえぜ。
Why was Genji the first one on his mind? The one that looks the least like Beato. I'm not sure about that.
私が聞きたいくらいさ。
Actually, that's what I want to know. Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression didn't completely match her attitude. Once the appetizers were set out and Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple casual chats broke out here and there, but they seemed somehow distant, and the meal ended up being so quiet that you couldn't ignore the sound of the rain sneaking into the dining hall. Creepy! Jessica single-handedly raising the intelligence of this whole cast by leaps and bounds. True. Kumasawa and Chanon, pushing the serving cart, ran into Genji and Kanon on their way back to the kitchen.
源氏さんですか？マリア様に傘を貸されたのは。
Oh, it's Genji-san. Did you lend Maria-san an umbrella?
傘
An umbrella?
何のことだ？
What are you talking about?
はい。雨が降り出した時に、マリア様は一人でバラ庭園におられたそうで。
Well, I heard that when it started raining, Maria-sama was alone in the rose garden.
そこで、どなたかに傘をお借りになったそうなのですが。
It seems she borrowed an umbrella from someone there.
それがどなたかわからないのです。
But we don't know who it was.
僕じゃないよ。
It wasn't me.
マリア様はゲストハウスにいると思ってたくらいだからね。
After all, I actually thought Maria-sama was in the guest house.
バトラ様が最初に見つけられた時には、もう白い傘をお持ちだった。
When Batora-sama first found her, she was already holding a white umbrella.
申し訳ないが、それは私でもない。
My apologies, but it was not me either.
じゃあ、まさか。
Then could it actually be?
親方様。
The master? The thought of Kinzo dressing up in a Beato dress just came into my mind. What if he just has a wig, like a strawberry blonde wig, and Beato's dress, and he just, you know, dressed up and he went down the stairs and he gave Maria the umbrella? That would be so funny. That would be incredible. I'm assuming that we were looking from Shannon's perspective or something. I could see him doing that, to be honest. I mean, he must have gotten some kind of artist to paint that painting of Beato, you know? So, if he didn't get Beato herself in this mansion and get someone to draw her, it must have either been a really good description, so detailed that, you know, anyone could envision what she looked like, or he actually dressed up as her or something. He could have a Beato cosplay for all we know. Beato Rishi will revive this night on this drag show. Gonna placate Kinzo sometimes, wander around in the distance. Yeah. I can picture the portrait taking forever because Kinzo kept going, no, the smile is all wrong. Yeah. Both in the dining hall and right here, everyone had stated that they hadn't done it. That left only Kinzo, but...
何かのご用で廊下を歩かれているとき、偶然バラ庭園に傘もささないマリア様が見えたとか。
Maybe he went walking down the corridor for some reason, and he just happened to see Maria-sama in the rose garden without even an umbrella.
親方様は
The master
マリア様のことをあまりお好きではない。
is not particularly fond of Maria-sama. That's a nice way to put it, Genji.
同感だね。
I agree.
親方様がマリア様のために直々に開花までお越しになって傘をお持ちくださるとは考えられないよ。
I can't imagine that, for Maria-sama's sake, he'd go to all the trouble of descending the stairs with an umbrella.
あら、困りましたわね。
Oh my, how
で
troublesome.
は、マリア様に傘をお貸しになられたのは、本当にベアトリーチェ様ってことに？
Does that mean the one who lent Maria-sama an umbrella really was Beatrice-sama? She's enjoying this. Kumasawa laughed just like the relatives in the dining hall who had laughed it off. She couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veiling the current situation. Just then, the crisp sound of hands clapping twice rang through the hallway. They all turned around at once to see Goda coming out of the dining hall.
さあさあ皆さん、
Okay,
ディナーは
everyone.
配膳のタイミングも大事です。
When serving a dinner, proper timing while setting the table is
すぐ
essential.
にスープの配膳に取り掛かってください。
Please immediately see to setting out the soup.
源氏さん、彼女らは大切なお仕事中ですので、お引き止めになられないでください。
Genji-san, the women are in the middle of an important job, so please don't get in their way. Kanon glared at Goda for being rude to Genji, a person Kanon respected. Genji, realizing this, patted Kanon once on the shoulder as a warning. Kanon reluctantly turned away and returned his expression to normal.
ゴーダの指示に従いなさい。
Obey Goda's instructions.
今は晩餐の配膳を急ぐように。
Hurry and prepare the dinner table.
ほらほら、時間がありません。
Come now, there's no time. Kumasawa's laugh is so good. It is really, really good. I love it. She does it so well every single time. Kumasawa can do nothing wrong. So far, I think I like her. I feel lukewarm about her. I feel better about her than I do about Goda.
タラタラしない。
Come now, there's no time. Don't dawdle.
急ぎますよ。
Hurry. Goda grabbed the serving cart from Shannon and steadily pushed towards the kitchen.
では、私どもも厨房に戻らせていただきます。
Then please allow us to return to the
高
kitchen.
田さんも気の短い方ですからね。
After all, Goda-san's temper is very short.
私もこれで失礼いたします。
Please excuse me as well. Kumasawa and Shannon left. Only Genji and Kanon remained. Through the window, the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt.
源氏様、
Creepy as hell. Genji-sama,
ベアトリーチェ様が本当に
did
お
Beatrice-sama
戻りになられたのでしょうか。
really return? Uh-huh, so they believe in it.
わからん。
I don't know.
親方様にお知らせしますか。
Shall I inform the master? Oh my god, I'm turning British.
せずと
The
もよ
master. That is not necessary.
本当にお戻りになられたなら、やがておのずと親方様の前へ現れよう。
If she truly has returned, she will eventually appear before the master with her own accord.
それに、あれは気まぐれなお方。
Furthermore, she is a fickle person.
親方様にご報告申し上げたところで、お姿を現されないことには何の意味もない。
It would be pointless to report to the master only to find that she does not appear.
親方様の儀式はすでに始まっているということでしょうか。
I wonder if this means the master's ceremony has already begun.
おそらく。
Probably.
だがそれは我ら家具には何の関わりもないこと。
However, that has nothing to do with furniture like us.
親方様に受けたご恩を最後の瞬間までお返しするのみ。
We must continue to return the favor we received from the master until our final moments.
はい。
Favor? What if they really are? Oh no. I have like crazy ideas in my head. What if they really were like furniture, like furniture pieces of the mansion or whatever, and Kinzo used black magic to turn them into humans, and they can turn it back into furniture at free will, which is what allows them to eavesdrop so easily. What if that's why they believe in like magic and stuff, and Beato, Beauty and the Beast moment. Exactly. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that's what I should be believing. It would be cool. Beast Rose Beast, Rose Give It Back. Oh my god, I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast in such a long time.
それが僕たち各の
Yes, that is furniture's
務めです。
duty. What is going on? What is happening? What is it with the furniture? I'm so intrigued. The reason why I'm like particularly suspicious of these servants is because they have the eagle on them, which is like very unusual. Like not even the spouses have it, so it's so strange to think about it. And like Goda and Kumasawa don't have it either. And there is more servants with the on character, so I'm guessing like maybe all of the servants that have the on are like, I don't know. They can perform magic or something. Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Meanwhile, Goda is just thinking, I wonder if they like my steak tartare. He's so oblivious to everything. He just wants to receive a fat paycheck. He just wants to impress. That's all. He's just really proud of his food. My favorite Disney movie is Beauty and the Beast. I'm trying to think of which one mine is. I think Encanto is probably one of my favorite ones. It was really good. I liked it. It's a very modern one. Out of the old ones, I'd have to say... God, I don't actually know. Yeah. I'll have to think about that for a little longer. I would say Ariel, but I'm not 100% sure. The thunder crashed once more. Except for those instants when lightning lit up the sky, nothing could be seen out the window but the darkness of night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, those that are not human rule when the sun is down. The darkness of night that now surrounded Rokenjima was ruled by another master, not the Ushiromiya family. Did this master take pity on Maria when she was alone and being pummeled by the rain in the rose garden, lending her an umbrella? Kanan looked at the rose garden's lights, dimly visible beyond the window. The dim lights weren't enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with the witch, and Kanan forced himself to avert his gaze. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by that light. Ominous. Ominous music gone. Yeah, there's a lot. Sleeping Beauty, not Beauty and the Beast. Sleeping Beauty. I think I like that one too. Cinderella also is a good one. I feel like I haven't watched that many, so I can't really decide. But Beauty and the Beast used to be my favorite one. I remember my dad always playing like the music from it because I would always cry. It was so sad for some reason. Can the weather change how people act? You often hear stories about how things like atmospheric pressure can influence people's moods and physical health. For some time now, everyone had been struggling to clear the gloomy atmosphere, but any conversation was quickly cut off, and in the end, the dining hall was simply filled by the sound of the rain. Dessert was some kind of chocolate cake accompanied by pear sherbet. Goda-san enthusiastically explained the recipe as soon as this final dish was presented, but I quickly forgot the details. I'm sorry, Goda, but no one cares about your food. The guest of honor grandfather was absent. The weather was horrible, and the identity of the one who'd lent Maria an umbrella remained a mystery. When dinner ended, no one felt even one bit refreshed. It was too late now, but I realized painfully that taste wasn't the only important part of a meal. The whole atmosphere was also critical. Goda-san, the supposed conductor of this musical piece called dinner, did his best to enliven the place, dropping little jokes left and right, but apparently not one of them succeeded. What are you doing, man? What are you doing here? Just serve the food. After taking orders for after-dinner coffee, tea, and orange juice, he left for the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Klaus spoke.
やれやれ。
My.
せっかくゴーダが腕を振るってくれた晩餐も、こうも沈み込んでしまっては実に味気ないというものだ。
What a waste that the dinner Goda worked so hard to create has met with such a gloomy atmosphere.
まったくね。
Yes, absolutely.
今日は何を食べても美味しく感じられない。そういう気分よ。
It just feels like nothing would taste good today.
ほう。どうしてそういう気分なのか聞きたいね。
I'd like to know why you feel that way.
心が晴れ晴れできるよう、兄として後で協力させてもらうよ。
I'll do all I can as your older brother to help cheer you up. Aunt Eva grimaced slightly. I'd already heard she wasn't on good terms with Uncle Klaus, but it was pretty clear now. When I looked around, I noticed that my father and Aunt Rosa were also grimacing. Apparently, there was something besides the weather troubling all of them.
エヴァおばさんもうちの親父も
Both Aunt Eva and my dad
ずいぶん機嫌が悪そうっすね。
aren't looking too happy.
そう
Really?
私はそうは思いませんよ。
I don't think so. I asked Aunt Natsuhi, who was sitting on my right, but she seemed to be in a bad mood as well. She snapped back as if to say she was absolutely not interested.
まあちょいと大人な話で込み入ってな。
Well, our adult conversation got a little complicated.
バトラ君たち子供は気にせんでええ話や。
It isn't something kids like you need to worry about, Batara-kun.
なあ夏日さん、桐江さん。
Isn't that right, Natsuhi-san, Kirie-san? Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, but without his usual brightness, so I could vaguely imagine just how complicated their adult conversation had become. On top of that, even Aunt Natsuhi and Kirie-san, the people he had directed his comment to, ignored him as though they hadn't heard anything. I didn't know what kind of conversation they'd been having while us kids were away, but it reminded me of how Dad said he had stomach cramps when he arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have been a playful reunion to us kids, but it was definitely different for the adults. After Uncle Hideyoshi's comment was ignored by the other adults, and an awkward silence fell over the room, Kirie-san spoke up.
子供たちの進路はどうなるのかしらとか、そういう話よ。
We were talking about how the kids' careers would turn out.
バトラ君は将来はどうするの？
Such as what lies in your future, Batara-kun.
ぼんやりと大学進学？
Will you just drift on to college? That change of topic is mean. That is so evil. Hello, the devil that cries. Welcome.
そんなのじゃ長い人生レースのスタートラインとしては心細いわよ。
Wouldn't that be a little disheartening as a starting line for the long race of life?
あいたたたたたった。
Hey, wait a sec.
桐江さん、飯の最中にそんな話されちまったら消化不良で便秘になっちまうぜ。
If you start talking about something like that in the middle of a meal, it won't digest well, and we'll all end up getting constipated. Why would you mention that at the dinner table?
そうやそうや。バトラ君やジェシカちゃんの進路の話をしとったんや。
That's right, that's right. We were talking about Batara-kun's and Jessica-chan's careers.
将来のことは真剣に考えんとあかんで。
You've got to think seriously about the future. Wahahaha. Hideyoshi heartily agreed, as if they really had been talking about that, but that was probably wrong. Kirie-san had been obviously trying to change the subject. However, if Kirie-san had determined that this was the best course of action for now, then she was probably right. Taking this into account, I cast aside my suspicions as to the cause behind Aunt Eva and Dad's bad moods. Bully butted up. Dinner time. Yep, the usual, you know? Hey, if it helps to better the mood, then I can accept it. He deserves it every once in a while. They can make fun of him for going ochiru ochiru when he was on the plane and on the boat, yeah? At long last, the serving cart returned, filled with coffee and tea. Kumasawa-san and Chanon-chan served it to everyone. Gora-san then explained that this concluded tonight's meal. If only the mood had been a bit more cheery, it might have been the best dinner in my life. It was a shame this best of dinners couldn't have been had under the best conditions.
ジョージお兄ちゃん、これでご飯は終わり？
Joji Oni-chan, is dinner over now?
終わり？
Over?
うん。
Yes.
これでおしまいだよ。
With this, dinner is finished.
はしてないわよ。
Don't be
お
rude.
席について、落ち着いてジュースを飲みなさい。
Stay in your seat and calmly drink up. Maria looked like she was really excited by the occasionally crashing thunder. Maybe she wanted to quickly finish eating and run over to the window. She had been fidgeting for a while, waiting for the meal to end. Some people are afraid of thunder, while others find it interesting, and Maria was apparently one of the latter sort. Therefore, when she heard from Joji and Nikki that dinner was over, a huge smile broke across her face. She then rose from her seat, took out her handbag, which she'd set under her seat, never having left it even while she was eating, and began fishing around inside of it. No one seemed particularly concerned by this behavior.
なんだい
What's
それは
that?
どこから持ってきたの
Where did you get it? Yoji was the first to notice it. As he spoke, Batara noticed it too. They saw that Maria was now holding a beautiful Western-style envelope. I have seen this envelope before. I've seen people make cookies with this design on it. Interesting. Very beautiful. On the front of the envelope, the Ushiromiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, was done in gold leaf. Furthermore, the fact that it was sealed with dark red wax made it clear that this wasn't something Maria could have brought as a prank.
マリアちゃん、それは何？
Maria-chan, what is that? Oh god, I'm scared. Just in time for the letter. Hi, Zazzle. Welcome in. Maria-chan, what is that? It seemed that Natsuhi had also noticed the strangeness of the envelope Maria was holding. Her voice sounded too serious for someone admonishing a small child, so the relatives around us finally noticed too.
どうしたよ、夏日姉さん。
What happened, Natsuhine-san?
それ、
What
何？
is that?
あなた、それをどこで拾ったの？
Maria, where did you pick that up?
その封筒は
That envelope has
金蔵さんの
Kinzo-san's... But Nanjo muttered that, even as kids could understand why everyone seemed to be frozen solid. The envelope that Maria held was one of the Ushiromiya family head's custom-made envelopes for private use. In other words, it could only mean one thing. This envelope contained a message from Kinzo. Or from Beato, who knows? I'm scared for Natsuhi's headaches. What if her head just explodes at some point?
どうしてそんな封筒がここにあるんだね
What is an envelope like that doing here?
こいつは面白いもんが飛び出してくるぜ。
Now that's an interesting thing to come jumping out at us.
ちょいとわしに見せてみ
Just let me have a peek. What the hell? You can't take that from her.
ダメ！マリアが読むの！
No way. I'll read it.
マリアがみんなに読んで聞かせなさいって言われたの！
I was told to read it to everyone. Uncle Hideyoshi tried to snatch the envelope out of Maria's hands, but she protected it as though hugging it, and didn't let go.
秀吉兄さん、子供相手に力ずくなんていけませんよ。
I think you should redirect those words to someone else at the table, looking at Rosa. Hideyoshi-san, you can't use force against a child.
マリアちゃん、その封筒はどうしたの？
Maria-chan, where did you get this envelope?
傘を貸してくれた時にベアトリーチェにもらった。
I got it from Beatrice when she gave me the umbrella.
ご飯が終わったらマリアがみんなに読んで聞かせろって言われた。
She told me to read it to everyone after the meal was over. So either Kinzo really does dress up as Beato, or she really does exist and is walking around. You can't use force against a child. I think someone needs to be told that every day of her life.
マリアは魔女の
I'm the witch's
メッセンジャーなの。
messenger. She seems very happy about
メッ
that.
センジャーこの島の魔女様は随分と洒落てるじゃねえかよ。
The almighty witch of the island sure likes to mess around. Matara tried to joke about it, but no one laughed.
それで中には何て書いてあるのかしら、マリアちゃん。
I wonder what's written inside of it, Maria-chan. Gonna read it. Okay. Maria casually opened the envelope. It was sealed only with wax, so she had just had to remove the sealing wax to open it. That sealing wax fell onto the desk. Hideyoshi hastily picked it up and stared fixedly at it. He then set it in the center of the table where Natsuhi, Kirie, and Nanjo stared at it. Imprinted in the sealing wax was the one-winged eagle, which was the Ushiromiya family crest and also Kinzo's personal crest.
これは 当主様の紋章？
This is the family head's personal crest.
私は金蔵さんに手紙をもらったことがあるからわかる。
I know it from the letters I have received from Kinzo-san
こ
before.
れは間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ。
Without a doubt, this is his wax seal.
でもこのお屋敷にはそれと同じ紋章がいくつもあるのでは？
But aren't there several things in this mansion bearing that crest?
例えば風浪用のハンコのようなものがあれば金蔵さんでなくても風浪はできるのでは？
For example, if there was some kind of stamp for wax seals, couldn't someone other than Kinzo-san have used it?
いや、金蔵さんは風浪には必ず
ああ
自分が指にしている後宮家当主の証の指輪で刻印をする。
No, Kinzo-san would always use a ring on his finger, his proof of the Oshiromiya family headship when he sealed the wax. You mean the ring that he threw outside the window?
この形や複雑な衣装は間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ。
This shape and complex design is definitely Kinzo-san's seal.
そうとは限らんよ。
That is not necessarily
親
so.
族であれば一度くらいは親父の手紙を受け取ったことはあるはずだ。
Anyone in the family must have received a letter from father at least once.
その風浪をもとに偽の紋章を作り、親父殿を語って刻印した可能性が否めない。
We can't eliminate the possibility that someone used that wax as a model to create a fake seal and pass themselves off as father.
兄貴に同感だ。
I agree with Aniki.
風浪に刻印されている紋章がどれだけ親父のものに酷似していたとしても間違いな
No matter how much
く親父のものであるとは証明不能だぜ。
The seal resembles dad's. We can't prove that it's the real thing.
だからその封筒が親父のものであるという証拠にはならない。
So it doesn't prove this envelope came from him.
私も全く同じよ。
I absolutely agree.
風浪の刻印だけでお父様の手紙だなんて決めつけることには同意できないわ。
I cannot approve of arbitrarily deciding that this letter came from father based solely on the wax seal.
南條先生、曖昧な言葉は慎んでいただけるかしら。
Dr. Nanjo, couldn't you use a bit more discretion with your vague words?
これは失礼。
I apologize.
出過ぎた口でしたな。
It was not my place to speak. She got really angry really quick. Anxious? Stressed? One after another, all of the siblings from Klaus on downward rejected Nanjo's statement, saying that the envelope Maria held wasn't necessarily from Kinzo. They were afraid. They feared from the bottom of their hearts that Kinzo's intentions were written in there, and that it might be some announcement regarding the inheritance that would be decidedly unfavorable to them.
マリア、その封筒は傘を貸してくれた人がくれたのね。
Maria, the person who gave you that envelope was the same person who lent you that umbrella, right?
ふうじゃわからないでしょ。
I don't know what "oo" means.
そうなの？
Is it true? Yes.
つまり
So, in other
魔
words,
女
the witch.
ベアトリーチェが傘と一緒にマリアちゃんにその封筒を。
So in other words, the witch Beatrice gave Maria-chan that envelope along with the umbrella? Maria nodded forcefully.
主人に私も同感です。
I agree with my
得
husband.
体の知れない何者かが手渡した怪文書です。
It's a dubious letter handed over by some suspicious
読む
person.
にも値しません。
It isn't even worth reading.
せめて読むくらいいいじゃねえかよ。
There's nothing wrong with just reading it, right? Patara said it to Jeshka in a small voice, trying to act tough, but Natsuki heard him clearly and glared at him with threatening eyes. Oh gosh. He's scary.
それでマリアは
And then,
ベアトリーチェに食事が終わったら読めって言われたんだな。
Beatrice told you to read it after the meal was over, right, Maria?
いいじゃないの皆さん。
It's okay,
こ
everyone.
れはおじい様の封筒ではなく、ベアトリーチェの封筒。
This envelope didn't come from grandfather, but from Beatrice.
誰が書いたのかはともかく、中身を聞いてからの判断でもいいんじゃないかしら。
Regardless of who actually wrote it, why can't we just hear what's inside before we decide?
そうやな。
That's right.
お父さんが書いたとは限らんが、中身が気になるんは事実や。
Even if father didn't necessarily write it, I'd still like to know what's written inside.
マリアちゃん、さっきは無理やり取ろうとしてすまんかった。
Maria-chan, I'm sorry I tried to take it from you by force earlier.
謝るから、みんなの前でそれ読み上げてくれんか。
I apologize, so will you read it out loud in front of everyone?
マリア、読みなさい。
Maria, read it. She was going to until everyone interrupted her. Kitty gets it. I don't know why everyone else is having such a hard time. Kitty is like the sweetest person in this room right now. As all the relatives stared fiercely at Maria, she spread the letter open with a rustle.
本当に親父の手紙だと思うか？
Do you think it really did come from Dad?
ありえんね。
Impossible.
親父殿が私たちに何かを発表するときは、直接でなければいつだって源氏を通してじゃないか。
Whenever father has announced something to us in the past, he would always send Genji if he didn't do it directly, correct?
このようなこじゃれた方法でするとは思えんね。
I cannot believe that he would use such a joke-like approach.
そうよ。
That's right.
マリアをメッセンジャーに？
Maria, a messenger.
それこそお父様の趣味じゃないわよ。
That definitely doesn't suit father's taste.
ローザ、これはマリアちゃんが私たちを脅かそうという何かの隠し芸なんでしょ？
Rosa, could this be Maria-chan trying to surprise us by putting on some kind of show?
マリアはそんな気の利いたことができる子じゃないわ。
Maria isn't really a kid who'd be capable of something so thoughtful. Wow, that coming from her own mother. What a lovely relationship they have. Thank you, Rosa, for adding absolutely nothing worthwhile to this conversation. If Kinzo's feeling whimsical in his old age, yeah, a little magic and whimsy. Can we kill her? Gonna read it. The words came out of Maria's mouth, but for some reason her voice seemed different than usual. Everyone went suddenly silent. Silence, peasants!
ようこそ、後ろ宮家の皆様方。
Oh wow, she does sound different. And the music is kind of cool. Welcome to Rokenjima, members of the Ushiromiya family.
私は金蔵様にお仕えしております。当家顧問錬金術師のベアトリーチェと申します。
I am Beatrice, the alchemist for this family, employed by Kinzo-sama himself.
そんなアホな。
That's crazy.
黙って。
Quiet.
長年にわたりご契約に従いお仕えしてまいりましたが、本日金蔵様よりその契約の終了を宣告されました。
I have served him for many years in accordance with our contract, but on this day, Kinzo-sama has announced the final suspension of that contract.
よって本日をもちまして、当家顧問錬金術師のお役目を終了させていただきますことを、どうかご了承くださいませ。
Therefore, I ask that you acknowledge my resignation from the position of family alchemist from this day forth.
くだらん。ざれ言だ。
How foolish, what nonsense.
聞くに耐えません。
I can't stand to listen to it.
さてここで皆様に契約の一部をご説明しなければなりません。
And now there is one part of the contract that must be explained to all present.
私ベアトリーチェは金蔵様にある条件とともに莫大な黄金の貸与をいたしました。
I, Beatrice, lend Kinzo-sama a vast quantity of gold under certain terms.
その条件とは契約終了時に黄金のすべてを返還すること。
One of these terms specifies that all the gold is to be returned to me upon the termination of the contract.
そして利息として後ろ宮家のすべてを頂戴できるというものです。
Oh god, they're not gonna be happy about that. Furthermore, I am to receive everything of the Ushiromiya family as interest.
むちゃくちゃや。
Ridiculous!
初めっからむちゃくちゃだぜ。
It's been ridiculous from the very beginning.
要するにあれだろ？
So it's basically one of those things,
よくあ
right?
る悪魔の契約みたいなやつなんだろ？
Doesn't that sound just like one of those contracts with the
ほん
devil?
で契約がおしまいってことになるから利子を回収に来たってわけだ。
The contract has expired, so they've come to collect the interest.
いや長年の退職金のつもりか。
Is she trying to grab some retirement money for her old age or
ちゃっ
something?
かりした魔女だぜ。
What a cheeky witch. I love Batara. Oh, I missed so many chat messages. Thank you for the posture check. I am sitting up straight. Maria-chan is the kind of person to express herself with her fists. Exactly. Beat her up. Beat them all up. Remember when Rosa was the least worst one? Crazy. Good old times. I like how she does sound very similar to Hanyu. It's so good. I mean, it's the same VA, obviously, but when she talks like this, it sounds more like Hanyu. It's very cute. And the manga was so spooked by the letter reading, but they really just be bumping fishy aroma in the VN. Fishy aroma? What? I'm assuming that I'll get that at some other point. Or is that the... Is that the soundtrack? Fishy aroma, is that it? What if Beato lives in the sea like Wadanohara? Is that her name? Yeah, the sea witch. That's the song. Okay. I see. It's a good soundtrack. It's really nice. Batara-kun, now isn't the time to joke around. Batara made a face of his as if to ask, if I can't make fun of this, what can I make fun of? Some of the adults' faces were pale while others looked dazed.
これだけをお聞きならば、皆様は金蔵様のことをなんと無慈悲なのかとお嘆きにもなられるでしょう。
After hearing this, you may feel as though Kinzo-sama has been savagely ruthless.
しかし金蔵様は皆様に富と名誉を残す機会を設けるため、特別な条項を追加されました。
However, Kinzo-sama did append a special clause to the contract so that you would have a chance to preserve your wealth and honor.
その条項が満たされた時に限り、私は黄金と利子を回収する権利を永遠に失います。
If, and only if, that special clause is fulfilled, I will lose my right to the gold and the interest for all eternity.
特別な条項?
A special clause?
それは何よ?
What is it?
特別条項
Special clause.
契約終了時にベアトリーチェは黄金と利子を回収する権利を持つ。
Beatrice retains the right to collect the gold and accumulated interest upon the termination of the
ただ
contract.
し、隠された契約の黄金を暴いた者が現れた時、
However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this
ベア
contract,
トリーチェはこの権利をすべて永遠に放棄しなければならない。
Beatrice must abandon these rights for all time.
利子の回収はこれより行いますが、もし皆様のうちの誰か一人でも特別条項を満たせたなら、
The collection of the interest will proceed shortly, but if any one of you fulfills the terms of this special clause,
すでに回収した分も含めて全てお返しいたします。
I shall return everything, including the portion that has already been collected.
なお、回収の手始めとしてすでに後ろ宮本家の家督を受け継いだことを示す後ろ宮家当主の指輪をお預かりさせていただきました。
Furthermore, as the first step in this collection of Kinzo-sama's debt, I have taken possession of the Ushiromiya family head's ring, which signifies the passage of the Ushiromiya family headship from one individual to another.
封印のろうそくにてそれをどうかご確認くださいませ。
I ask that you confirm this for yourselves by examining the imprint on the wax seal.
これがそうだというのか?
Oh my god! The sprite is awesome! Are they trying to claim that that's the meaning behind this seal?
親父が指輪を手放すなどありえん!
That father would relinquish his ring is unthinkable. Klaus stared at the sealing wax as if trying to burn a hole through it. Eva and Rudolph were doing the same over his shoulder.
確かにチェスの時金蔵さんの指に何か足りんような違和感は感じ取りました。
Oh gosh. Come to think of it, when we were playing chess, I did have a strange feeling that something was missing from Kinzo-san's finger.
南條先生
Dr. Nanjo,
おぼろげな記憶でいい加減なことを言わないように
don't say something so careless just because of a vague memory.
その心眼をここでは測れないわ。
You can't prove its authenticity here.
本当に指輪をおじい様は誰かに手渡したのか、この手紙が本当の話かどうかはおじい様に直接確認すればいいだけの話じゃない。
Only by asking Father directly can we determine whether he really handed over his ring and whether this letter really tells the truth.
そうね。
That's right.
キリエさんの言う通りだわ。
It's just as Kiria-san says.
果たして
Do you really think
金蔵さんがそれを答えてくれますかな。
Kinzo-san will tell you?
あの人のお考えは時に人の世の常識では測りかねますからな。
After all, that person's thought sometimes surpasses the bounds of common sense.
どの道ざれ言の域を出んね。
No matter what happens, it's still nonsense.
第一、黄金幻想自体が親父殿のまやかしだ。
In the first place, the illusion of gold itself is one of Father's tricks.
ありもしない黄金の話を始めるのはお前たちだけで十分だ。
I've already heard enough talk of that gold from the rest of you.
でも魔女様はおっしゃってるわよ。
But this is the witch speaking, right?
黄金を見つけた者に家督とすべての財産を引き渡すってね。
About how the inheritance and all of the assets will be handed over to the one who finds the gold, right?
つまりベアトリーチェ様はお父様の顧問弁護士もしくは金庫番でもあられるってことじゃないのかしら。
So maybe Beatrice-sama is father's legal advisor or in charge of his funds.
このような怪しげな文章を子供に託すような怪人物を信用することなどできません。
We can't possibly trust some strange person who entrusts such a suspicious paper to a child.
兄貴、腹を割ってもらうぜ。
Aniki, we need you to be frank with
兄
us.
貴の知らない人物が親父の財産管理をしているようなことはあり得るのか？
Is it possible Dad's assets are being managed by someone you don't know?
いや、それはない。
No, that's impossible.
私は当主代行として親父殿のすべての財産を把握している。
As the family head's representative, I control all of Father's assets.
私に知られずにそれらを自由にできる人間はいないはずだ。
It should be impossible for anyone to do as they please with them without me knowing it.
じゃあつまりクラウス兄さんの把握していない財産ってことじゃないの？
This must mean there are some assets you don't control, right, Klaus-san? Also, hello, Shavix. Hi, hi. Klaus seems to be in disbelief.
バカな。そんなものあるわけがない。
How foolish. Such assets could not possibly exist. I'm so happy to see him get so ragey, you know? Like before when they were ganging up on him, he stayed so calm. He did not care. But now you can really see the calmness is gone. He can no longer hide his frustration. He's losing it. It's really funny.
あるわよ。
Oh, but there is such a thing.
兄さんが把握していない。
An asset
お
of
父様の
father's
資産。
that you don't control.
そんなものあるわけがありません。
There's no way such a thing could exist.
いや、あるで。
No, it does.
それがお父さんの、いや、ベアトリーチェの隠し方法や。
It's father's. No, Beatrice's hidden gold.
話を整頓しよう。
Let's keep it simple.
つまり親父には兄貴も知らない腹心がいた。
In short, Dad has some trusted confidant. I'm guessing that's how you say it. That Aniki doesn't even know
そ
about.
してそいつはずっと黄金の番と運用を任されてきたわけだ。
Furthermore, this person has always been in charge of watching and managing the gold.
あるいは悪魔の契約まがいのルールで融資した神塚の大富豪か。
Or it could be some eccentric rich person who offered him a loan with rules like a devil's contract. Beto cooking Klaus and he's not even here. On this day, all of Kinzo's Reddit gold will be transferred to Beatrice. Oh, that's really funny. That's a really funny thought.
その腹心のベアトリーチェさんは自分の黄金を融資する相手として息子兄弟の誰がふさわしいか試したいということなのかしら。
Could it be that his confidant, I hope that's how you say it, called Beatrice, is trying to test which of Kinzo's children is most worthy to be financed by her gold? Hidea's question was one that all the siblings wanted answered. Upon reflection, they realized that Kinzo's strange epitaph had hung in the hall beneath the witch's portrait for quite some time. And while it had been long whispered that whoever solved the puzzle would receive everything, no one had ever clearly stated it. It was just something that everyone had hoped might be true. And right here, right now, the thing they'd hoped for had been clearly stated in Beatrice's letter. It clearly specified that everything of the Ushiromiya family would be given to the one who found the gold.
黄金の隠し場所についてはすでに金蔵様が私の肖像画の下に碑文にて公示されております。
Kinzo-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my
条
portrait.
件は碑文を読むことができる者すべてに公平に。
The rules apply equally to all who can read the
黄
epitaph.
金を暴けたなら私はすべてをお返しするでしょう。
If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to
それ
you.
ではどうか今宵を金蔵様との知恵比べにて存分にお楽しみくださいませ。
Tonight, I ask that you enjoy your battle of wits with Kinzo-sama to the
今
fullest.
宵が知的かつ優雅な夜になるよう心よりお祈りいたしております。
I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant.
黄金のベアトリーチェ。
Beatrice the Golden. Meow.
お父さん、聞こえているはずです。
Father, I know you can hear me.
返事をしてください。
Please respond. The door to Kinzo's study was being violently, harshly beaten against over and over again like a percussion instrument. The yells coming from the other side belonged to Klaus, Rudolf, and sometimes Eva. It was the siblings who were trying to intrude upon Kinzo's study to question him about the truth behind that mysterious letter. Kinzo was eating. He does not care. An elegant tablecloth was set over the desk, and the fabulous dinner that had adorned the table down in the dining hall was reproduced here. Kinzo continued his meal in silence. Shannon, taking away an empty plate, looked uncomfortably between the door being pounded on and Kinzo's face.
皆さんがお呼びですが
Everyone is calling for
いかが
you.
いたしますか。
But what should I do?
捨ておけ。
Leave them.
神と我が晩餐は沈黙を尊ぶ。
God and my meals both hold silence as a virtue.
黙らせますか。
Should I silence them?
必要ない。
There's no need.
我が耳には届いておら
It
ぬ。
does not even reach my ears. Kinzo enjoyed his food, apparently indifferent. Genji quietly lowered his head and took a single step back. As he did, Kanon, who stood in a reserve like a shadow behind, and to the side of Genji, opened his mouth.
マリア様がベアトリーチェ様より手紙を受け取られたとのことで
How do you
そ
know
の真
that?
偽を確かめたいのでしょう。
Maria-sama apparently received a letter from Beatrice-sama, so I imagine they want to test its authenticity.
あやつめ、早速始めおったか。
Has she started already then?
さあ、ベアトリーチェ。
Come, Beatrice.
かけるコインに不足はあるまい。
I have no shortage of coins to be wagered.
存分に今宵を楽しもうではないか。
Shall we enjoy this night to the fullest?
負ける気はないぞ。
I don't think I'll
お
lose.
前の微笑みは永遠に私のものだ。
Your smile will be mine for all eternity.
もう一度見られるなら、富も名誉も我が命すらも惜しくはない。
If I could see it one more time, I wouldn't regret losing my wealth, my honor, or even my life.
さて、ルーレットは回り始めた。
Well then, the roulette has begun to
ボ
spin.
ールはどのポケットに落ちるのか。
Which pocket will the ball fall
ノ
into?
ワールか、ルージュか。
Noir, Rouge,
それとも親の総取りか。
or House takes it all? I have no idea what he's talking about.
さあ始めるがいい。ベアトリーチェ。
Noir means black, right? And Rouge means red? Kinzo fully believes that he'll be left standing. he certainly hopes for that to be true. Beatrice! Red and black pockets. Roulette. Black, red, green. I see. I only know Russian roulette. I'm sorry. I don't know what is roulette even. I'm sorry. Let me look it up real quick. I don't know anything. Oh, it's that. Okay. Okay. That also makes sense with which pocket will the ball fall into. Okay, I understand. It's that. I've seen it before. I just didn't know the name. The numbers are either black, red, or sometimes the special green ones. Okay, okay. Danganronpa people should play normal games sometimes. No, I think Nagito should keep playing Russian roulette every time he gets the chance to. No Gamba knowledge, I'm sorry. Well, Russian roulette is a sort of Gamba. Almost half are red, almost half black, and 0 and 0, 0, double 0 are green, in which house takes all. And house takes all means you just win everything that was bet on in that round? Yeah? Means you lose. Oh. Oh, okay. Ah, you just lose everything that was bet. Oh, okay. House being the casino. I see. Our returns to the house. Okay, I understand. Thank you. I didn't know that. That is good to know.
私が再びお前に奇跡の力というものを見せてやる。
I'll show you the power of miracles once more. That is really funny every single time. In this case, Beato is green. I would assume so, yeah. Wow, did a whole day pass? Okay, this is actually wonderful timing because there will be an ad break in around 30 seconds. So I'll just start it now and then we can continue in 3 minutes. That is really good timing. All right, I'll be right back. Meowdy. All right, let me adjust the volume. I'm really excited to keep reading. It's too loud. Okay, there we go. Oh, I drank too much water. I feel like I'm gonna explode now. Ooh. All right. Thank you. Welcome back to Two Fita. The strange letter that the witch had entrusted to Maria wiped all memories of dinner from our minds. Maria was repeatedly barraged, I don't know how to say this, barraged with questions by Aunt Rosa and the other parents, and became increasingly ill-tempered when they refused to believe her. If we kids tried to butt in, they'd probably ignore us. Our parents were all stirred up, firing back and forth about the gold and the distribution of the assets and completely forgetting that we were even there. I'd already guessed they'd been talking like this in the shadows, but I hadn't thought they'd be so blunt. It gave all of us kids a considerable shock. From what we could overhear, all the parents wanted more money as soon as possible. Back and forth about grandfather's inheritance. Back and forth about the distribution of the gold if it was found. About advance payments and cash. It was so despicable I could hardly bear to watch, even though one of them was my father. It looked like Jeshka felt the same way. We left our seats without being asked to and went to hang out somewhere well away from our parents. Good for them. She was buttered with questions, exactly. I get it. Now I totally see why grandfather hates coming down for meals. I'm so disillusioned with our parents right now. All that about money and the inheritance. How can they act like that right out in the open? Well, I'm already completely disillusioned with my old bastard. There's no way I could think any worse of him. That's exactly the same for me. Still, that freaking shocked me. Shocked me to the core. Jeshka looked down on the floor, irritated. She was always talking about how bad her parents were, but maybe she hadn't really felt that way deep inside. The depths of Jeshka's shock made that clear.
未成年の君たちはご両親に養育してもらってるからわからないだろうけど。
You're all minors being supported by your parents, so you might not understand.
お金を得るというのは単純な綺麗事じゃないよ。
But But getting money is neither a simple nor a pretty
未
thing.
成年である今にそれを理解しろとは言わない。
I won't try to force you to understand right now since you're still kids. He's like 3 years older, isn't he? He's not that much older. He's still a kid.
でもご両親なりに何かの努力をしていることだけは認めてあげてほしいな。
But even so, I want you to realize that your parents are doing their best in their own way.
やれやれ。
Oh, great.
ジョージの兄貴は人間ができてるぜ。
Joji Aniki's gotten all mature.
ジョージ兄さんは社会人になってバリバリ働いてるけどよ。
Joji Nisan, I know you're working hard as a full-fledged member of
金
society.
とか財産とかそういう話になったらうちの親父たちみたいに強欲むき出しのハゲタカになれるってのかよ。
What does that mean you turn into a shameless, greedy vulture like our parents whenever you start talking about money and assets? I sure hope not. Get over yourself, George. He's very mature and worldly and wise and grown up, yet the glasses do that to you. He's 20. Isn't he 21? I don't remember if he's 21 or 23. I thought he was 21. In that case, he'd only be 3 years older than them. I think Joji is like in his 20s, so I can kind of get why he's acting like this. I mean, sure, but I don't know. I feel like all of their troubles, like the parents' troubles, come from not being able to manage their businesses well and being tricked and doing silly things and generally being stupid with their money. And I feel like at that point, it might just be their fault, you know? It might just not be the harsh reality of capitalism, but their own stupidity that brought them into that position that leads them to talk this way about the assets and the inheritance and their own father, you know? I don't know. Hello, Taikai. Hi, hi. Get his ass. Joji is old enough to have gotten out of college and started getting the shit beaten out of him by capitalism. I'm not familiar with college. Are you out of college? Oh god, is college like pre-university? I never understand it. But I don't know. It works different in Japan anyway, so.
自分だけの話だったらそんなことはしたくないよ。
If it were only for my own benefit, then no, I wouldn't want to do that.
でも家族や社員、部下やその家族の生活を背負ったら戦わなければならない時もあるかもしれない。
However, when your family and your employees, your subordinates, and their families are all counting on you, there are some times when you must fight. Or maybe make better business decisions, just saying.
私はそんな戦い嫌だぜ。
I hate that kind of fight.
小さまの遺産がどうのこうのなんて話、ヘドが出るぜ。
That back and forth about grandfather's inheritance just makes me want to puke. I get that. They call universities college. It's like a different track to uni usually. Mostly a size difference, but they can have the same curriculum. Interesting. I thought it was like a totally different thing, and you go to college and then you go to university after. It works very differently in the US, clearly. Upper secondary education. I see. Their grandfather's body isn't even cold yet, and they're already dividing up his assets. I mean, to be fair, I can understand the timing of them talking about it. It's just like the way they talk about it, you know? I get that this timing, you know, with him apparently being on his deathbed, it seems fitting to talk about it, but not in this way. Not behind his back either, you know? I feel like he should be involved at least. 16 to 18. So that's like the ages that you'd be attending college? So it's like higher education here in Germany, where around that age you would be in like grade 10, 11? And you'd be on your final years of like the highest grade of education, sort of? Okay. Jessica pretended to spit violently. That harsh reaction made the depths of her pain very clear.
もうこの話はやめようぜ。
Let's stop talking about this.
じい様の隠し黄金がどうのこうの、財産だ遺産だって話は親たちの問題で俺たちの問題じゃないさ。
All this about grandfather's hidden gold, property, and inheritance is our parents' problem, not ours.
僕も同感だよ。
I agree.
せめて気を利かせて親たちの話し合いを邪魔しないのが子供の務めだと思うね。
At the very least, I think children have a duty to be considerate and stay out of their parents' way when they're talking together.
なんだか面白くねえぜ。
Sounds pretty boring. I don't know if I agree with that, but you know. Interchangeable terms in most of the USA, only people who would really want to argue are Omega nerds. Okay. I'm not familiar, so I can't really give my 2 cents on it, but I'll just take that as at face value. Everyone knows the phrase adults are filthy, but we had now seen that for ourselves, and that really did give us a considerable shock. Dodyaniki was now pretty much an adult, and I'd already been disillusioned with my dad, so the shock wasn't that big for us. But Jessica seemed to be taking it hard. Apparently she'd received a bigger blow than I thought. She always talks badly about her parents, but it looks like she hadn't changed at all on the inside. Even now, she's still a pure-hearted, delicate person who can't doubt others. I'm sure she respected her parents as much as anyone else does. And then her parents started raging about going money, inheritance, mine money, right in front of all of the other parents and the children. It's no surprise she received such a shock from hearing that.
ジェシカちゃん。
I mean, you know, they're all siblings. They kind of turn into little kids when around each other, I would assume. Vile vulture kids.
どうかお父さんとお母さんのことを嫌いにならないで。
Jessica-chan, please don't start hating your mother and
理
father.
解しろとまでは言わないから、せめてどうか嫌いにならないであげて。
I won't ask you to understand them, but at least don't hate them.
わかってるよ。少し放っておいてくれよ。
I get it, just leave me alone for a bit. 6 years ago, I would have kept taunting Jessica even after she got all dejected. But I guess I really have grown over the last 6 years. I realized it would be better to leave Jessica alone right now. Jessica suddenly looked away sulkily and left the parlor. She probably wanted to be alone for a while. I could do nothing but wordlessly watch her back as she left.
そういえば、マリアちゃんはどこに行ったんだろう。
Come to think of it, I wonder where Maria-chan went. I was wondering if they just left her alone. Every time I look back at stream and see your, like, Umineko fan art peeking at me, I can't stop laughing. Yeah. I'm always staring at you. I could also play the game like this, you know? I love the smug expression. It's just really so good. I also have... Oh, I wonder if I can find it so quickly. Hold on. Yeah. Can I find it? Yeah, I have this one too. You can have 2 of them. They look so good next to each other. That's really funny. I spit my coffee out. I love it. It's awesome, isn't it? It makes me really happy. Wonderful creatures, right? Right? That's really good. Let's move them back. There we go. I love these 2. They're awesome. I will never forget them. I want to print them out and put them on my wall. Higurashi spooky and Umineko spooky. She's the messenger of the witch, so she's already been taking as the first acid. I hope not. I don't want Maria to die. She deserves to live.
多分 まだ肖像画の前でいじけてるんだろうぜ。
She's probably pouting in front of the portrait. Maria truly looked up to witches, and she'd expected that coming in direct contact with Beatrice and receiving the letter as proof would surprise everyone and make them happy. What? I didn't understand that sentence. Coming in direct would surprise everyone and make them happy. Okay. However, the adults had doubted its authenticity thoroughly, bombarding Maria with questions and refusing to accept her story. Even for me, it wasn't hard to imagine how much that must have hurt Maria. We couldn't speak to Maria or Jeshka. In the end, Joji, Anike, and I just abandoned ourselves to the sound of the falling rain in the dark night.
台風はどんな感じなんだろうね。
I wonder what's happening with that typhoon.
ニュースをやってないかな。
Maybe there's something about it on the news. Joji and Nikki started walking over to the corner of the parlor where the television was. He hadn't called me over, and I really couldn't have cared less where the typhoon was on the sea now. So without going over to the television, I lured it around the window.
そんなに風は出てなさそうだけど、海の上はひどいのかしらね。
The wind hasn't picked up that much here, but I wonder if it's horrible over the sea. Like Kiria. Maybe Maria will live a peaceful life as the witch's apprentice or something? That'd be kind of cute.
天気予報では暴風警報も聞いてたんだけど。
I did hear about a severe storm warning on the weather report.
キリエさんか。
Ah, Kiria-san.
大人たちの積もる話はどんな感じなんすか？
I take it those big talks between the adults are going smoothly, yeah? She seemed to catch the sarcasm. Kiria-san shrugged.
この胃の痛くなる話は徹夜で続くのかしら。
I wonder if that stomachache of a discussion will continue all night.
嫌になるわ。
It's not going to be fun.
まあ、せいぜいよろしく。じいさまの財産分配について、ハゲタカごっこをお楽しみくださいってんだ。
Well then, please enjoy playing vultures to grandfather's property as much as you'd like.
最低の気分だぜ。
I feel sick.
それに関しては同感よ。
I'll agree with you on
バトラ
that.
君みたいに席が外せるなら、私もそうしたいわ。
If I could just slip away like you, I'd do it.
でもそうもいかない。
Unfortunately, I can't.
たとえ発言権がなくてもね。
Even if I'm not allowed to speak.
パートナーも大変よ。
We spouses have it pretty rough too. And yet here you are. Kiria-san took a deep breath, smiling bitterly. That's right. They probably wouldn't let Kiria-san speak since she only married into the family. Still, as Dad's partner, she's had no choice but to stay by his side and support him. It's kind of funny. The only one who really does get a say in all of this is Hideyoshi. Even though he married into the family because he's a man, of course. Natsuhi and Kiria don't get a say at all. She's probably had to bear the full brunt of his mental pressure much more than me. I wasn't going to apologize, but realizing that I'd spoken too harshly, I cut the sarcasm for the time being.
どんな感じなんすか？
So, how does it look?
相変わらず謎の魔女ベアトリーチェの話題で持ちきりですか？
Are they still stuck on the topic of the mysterious witch Beatrice?
まあね。
More or
あの
less.
人たちはおじい様が亡くなった時の遺産分配について兄弟4人で話をまとめようとずっと密約を重ねてきた。
Those four siblings are always piling up secret agreements when they come together to discuss the division of grandfather's inheritance.
そこへ未知の5人目が現れて話をややこしくしようっていうんだから穏便な話のわけもないわ。
They're saying that some unknown fifth person has appeared and is trying to make things even more complicated. And there's no way that'll make for a peaceful conversation.
互いを罵り合ったりかと思えば共闘しようってことになったり。
Just when you think they're snarling at each other, they'll set up a common front.
夏日姉さんでなくても頭痛がしてくるところよ。
Natsuhi-san-'s not the only one getting headaches. On the one hand, they all want a larger portion than the other siblings, so they're all rivals. But on the other hand, they don't want 1 yen to be snatched up by anyone other than the siblings, so they're also all allies. I hadn't been told the details, but the siblings were apparently discussing how to protect their shares on their various situations, setting up ceasefire agreements and rules to prevent anyone from getting an unfair advantage, even preparing to resort to legal action if absolutely necessary. That they would go this far to preserve their shares was so beyond disgusting that you just had to acknowledge their resilience.
ってことは、さしずめ。
Basically,
ベアトリーチェはじいさまからの資格ってとこですかね。
Beatrice is like an assassin sent by grandfather.
自分抜きで遺産の分配なんて話を勝手に進めてた息子たちに、一泡吹かせたかったんだろうぜ。
He probably wanted to scare the hell out of his children for talking about the inheritance without him. If only it were so simple.
ベアトリーチェって。
Who is this Beatrice, I wonder?
自称してることが全て本当なら、今日まで誰にも知られずにいた謎の人物で、しかもおじいさまの隠し黄金の存在を知っていて。
If everything she claims is true, then she's a mystery figure that no one knew about until today. And she also knows about grandfather's hidden gold.
その上、当主の指輪まで委ねられている。
On top of that, she was even entrusted with the head's ring.
相当に信頼された人物ね。
She must truly have been trusted by him.
さすがに、ほうきにまたがった魔女だとは思わないっすけど。
Well, obviously I don't think she's a witch riding around on a broom.
でも、魔女と呼ぶに値する怪人物であることは、間違いないっすね。
But there's no doubt she's a mysterious person who's earned the right to be called a witch.
マリアちゃんがそのあたりのことを詳しく話してくれればいいのだけど。
If only Maria-chan would go into more detail about that.
みんな小さい子にがっつきすぎだわ。
Everyone's been smothering her, even though she's just a little girl.
すっかり怯えてしまって、聞けるものも聞けなくなってしまった。
They really scared her, and some things they might have asked now can't be asked.
あの人たち、北風と太陽とか読んだことないのかしら。
I wonder if those people have ever even read The North Wind and the Sun.
確かなのは、
What is
マリア
that?
がベアトリーチェと名乗る人物から手紙を受け取ったこと。
The North Wind and the Sun. Folktale? The morale teaches the superiority of persuasion over force. Okay, that would be pretty fitting. What we do know is that Maria received a letter from a person who took the name Beatrice.
自分で現れて直接話せばいいものを、手紙を託して今もどこかに身を潜めているっていう、シャイな怪人物ですけどね。
She sure is shy for a mysterious person entrusting Maria with a letter and hiding away even now, when she could have just appeared and talked to us directly.
ねえ、バトラ君。
Hey, Batara-kun.
ベアトリーチェなんて人物が本当にいると思う？
Do you really think a person called Beatrice actually exists?
さあ、
Who knows?
あくまでも偽名じゃないっすかね。
Doesn't it really seem like a false
じい
name?
様の代理人として、その妄想の中の魔女の名を名乗ることを許された、とか。
Like she's grandfather's representative, so she was given permission to take the name of the witch from his delusions?
そうじゃなくて。
No, that's not what I meant.
今この六軒島には全部で18人いるの。
Right now, there's a total of 18 people here on the Rokkenjima. Ugh. Oh, soundtrack is kind of eerie.
19人目が存在すると思う？
Do you think there's a 19th person? Are there really a full 18 people on this island right now? Wondering about that, I began counting on my fingers, and it really did come out to that many.
19人目が存在すると思うって。
Do I think that a 19th person exists?
どういう意味ですか？
What exactly do you mean?
言葉通りの意味よ。
Are there? Let me see. We can count them again. 8, 11, 14. Yeah, it's 18. Apparently. That's what I said.
マリアちゃんに傘を貸した人物は私たち18人の中にはいないらしい。
The person who lent Maria that umbrella supposedly wasn't one of us 18.
なら19人目がいて、その人物がマリアちゃんに傘を貸したと思うのが妥当じゃない？
So, isn't it natural to assume that a 19th person exists and that this person lent Maria the umbrella?
ま、そうなりますね。
Well, yeah, it sure looks that way.
ならその人物は今どこにいるの？
Then where exactly is this person now?
少なくとも雨が降り出した瞬間には島にいた。
At the very least, she must have been on the island when it started
そ
raining.
してその後はどんどん天気は悪化して、とても船なんか出せない状態。
And ever since that time, the weather has grown progressively worse, so taking a boat out would be pretty much
となれ
impossible.
ば、その人物はまだ島の中にいて、どこかで雨宿りをしていなくてはならない。
In that case, that person must still be on the island, hiding from the rain somewhere. Didn't they mention that Beato lived in the forest or whatever? Why don't they just go there? You know, if the story is right, which, you know, it seems to be right from everything that they've heard as of right now, shouldn't they just go there and check it out? I mean, yeah, it's raining, but you can just take an umbrella and go there and see if you can find any buildings or whatnot. I'm sure that someone must have checked at some point. Hello, Ultimate Forehead Hunter. Hi, hope we're doing good. Someone has in fact cried in this game already, so I would say yes. Not the Umineko though. Sounds like it would take a while. Yeah, maybe not right now, but maybe the next day when morning hits. Also, hello, Klaus. Hi.
私たち誰の目にも触れずね。
And without any of us spotting her.
確かに。俺たちは屋敷やゲストハウスの中を勝手にうろつき回ってましたが、誰も19人目なんかには会ってないわけですよね。
True, we've all been randomly prowling around all over the mansion and the guest house, but no one has bumped into a 19th person.
でもまあ、これだけの広さのある島ですし。
This island is huge.
屋敷やゲストハウス以外に雨宿りできるところだってあるのかも。
There might be other places to take shelter from the rain other than the mansion and the guest house. At about this time, I began to realize what direction Kiryu-san's suspicions were taking us in. Kiryu-san was denying that a 19th person existed. Beatrice was one of us 18. In other words, she thought someone we knew well was tricking us.
ベアトリーチェが自称する通りなら、その人物は間違いなく最高の賓客よ。
If Beatrice is who she claims, she surely would be the most honored of
お
guests.
じいさまが信頼する最高の腹心。
The most honored of confidants, trusted by
そんな
grandfather.
人物をおじいさまが歓待しないわけがない。
There's no way grandfather wouldn't give that kind of a person a warm reception. I find it interesting that Kiryu uses Oji-sama, grandfather, when she also technically married into the family, and everyone else who did that calls him father. I know that she's Rudolph's second wife, technically, but still, I feel like it would be more fitting for her to also use father.
お屋敷に迎え入れないわけはないのよ。
She would surely have been ushered into the
で
mansion.
も、私たちは誰も見ていない。
However, we haven't seen anyone like that.
待ってくださいよ。それはちょいと請求な推理じゃないですか。
Wait a sec, isn't this line of reasoning a bit too
確か
hasty?
に。誰の目にも触れてはいないけれど。だからって19人目を否定することにはならないんじゃないですか。
Sure, no one spotted this person, but that doesn't mean that you can deny the possibility that a 19th person exists, right?
何かの理由があって、こっそり上陸してずっと隠れているのかも。
Maybe, for some reason, they landed on the island stealthily and have been hiding ever since.
悪魔の証明ってやつっすよ。
It's what they call a devil's proof.
いることを証明するのはたやすい。
It's easy to prove that something exists.
ベアトリーチェってやつが俺たちの前に現れて挨拶すりゃ解決する。
If this Beatrice appears in front of all of us and says hi, then it's settled.
でも19人目がいないことを証明するのは不可能っすよ。
But it's impossible to prove that there's no 19th person. Yes.
バトラ君の推理の仕方は悪くないわ。
Batara-kun, your way of reasoning isn't
現在
bad.
の状況では19人目の存在を認めるにも否定するにも情報が足りない。
In our current situation, there isn't enough information to either accept or deny that a 19th person exists.
でもね、チェス盤をひっくり返して考えると、ほぼ19人目はありえないって断言できちゃうのよ。
But if you spin the chessboard around and think that way, we can't deny the existence of a 19th person with near certainty. Now she's also using chess references. I see, I see. Spin the chessboard around was one of Kiria-san's favorite phrases. I've been influenced by those words and used them myself from time to time. When you get stuck trying to find a move in chess or shogi, then by spinning the board around and looking at everything from your opponent's standpoint, you can often see a strategy that'll give you the upper hand. Are you allowed to do that in chess, to just spin the board around? Is that okay? What if the 19th person was the cutthroat behavior we expressed along the way? It should be. No, not literally. Okay. Mentally. Okay. I mean, I don't know if I would be capable of doing it mentally, but I'm sure that the chess pros have enough mental capacity to do that. But yeah, I was wondering. Because I've never seen anyone do that. I have seen people play chess before, so... It means turning things around and putting yourself in your opponent's shoes.
いい？仮に19人目の人物としてベアトリーチェが実在したとして
Let's say that a 19th person called Beatrice actually exists.
その人物は誰にも知られることなくこっそりとこの島に上陸しずっと隠れていた
That person must have managed, without being seen by anyone, to stealthily arrive on this island and remain hidden ever since. Turn the chessboard around. Back when it was first translated, it was flipping chessboard. That would be quite bad.
何かの理由があってね
Maybe they had some reason, okay?
ならどうしてわざわざ姿を現してマリアちゃんに手紙を渡したの
Yeah, just like that. In that case, why did they go to all the trouble of appearing before Maria and handing her the letter? It really was a contradiction. If they had some reason for hiding themselves, then they should have stayed hidden the whole time. But even so, they had appeared openly in front of Maria.
それは
Then...
ほらマリアも言ってた
Wait, Maria said it herself.
メッセンジャーにされたって言ってたじゃないですか
She said the witch made her a messenger.
マリアが一番年下で素直そうだったからじゃ
Maybe that's because Maria was the youngest and looked the most obedient.
メッセンジャーなんて必要なの
Why would they need a messenger?
手紙を親族会議の席上に送りたかったら郵送すればいいだけの話よ
If they just wanted a letter delivered to the family conference, they could have mailed it.
4人の兄弟全員に郵送すれば黙殺することもできない
If they mailed it to each one of the 4 siblings, no one would have been able to ignore it.
手紙を持参してこっそり手渡す理由がないのよ
There was no need for this person to carry it themselves and secretly deliver it by hand. But what if Beato just wanted to mess with them a little bit, you know? What if she's a little prankster? She just wants to fool them. People made so many goofy arts about it. I'd like to see that. I think that'd be really funny.
確かに
Yeah.
なんだかおかしな話っすね
That does sound pretty weird.
そもそもベアトリーチェが存在していてその存在をアピールしたいならみんなの前に堂々と姿を現せばいいだけの話
In the first place, if Beatrice existed and wanted to make her presence known to everyone, then she could have just openly presented herself to all of us.
なのに現れずマリアちゃんという小さな子を通しておぼろげな輪郭だけでその存在を主張しようとする曖昧さ
Despite that, she chose the vague method of appearing through a little girl called Maria-chan and only gave us a vague impression of who she
矛
was.
盾
Contradiction.
もっと考えて
Let's go a little deeper, shall we?
マリアちゃんの前に姿を現し19人目の存在を印象づけるという点とにもかかわらず
She appeared in front of Maria, trying to give us the impression that a 19th person existed, and yet...
今この瞬間も私たちの前に姿を現さず隠れ続けている点
She still hasn't appeared before us and is hiding somewhere at this very moment.
これらの矛盾
Think about those contradictions.
これを念頭に置いた上でチェス盤をひっくり返すの
You've got to keep these things in mind when you spin the chessboard around.
つまり19人目の人物としてベアトリーチェがいると印象づけたい人物の目論見は何かよ
In short, if a person wants to leave us with the impression that Beatrice exists as a 19th person, what might their goal be?
姿を隠したい人物ならその存在をアピールするわけがない。
This person wanted to hide, and they wouldn't have made their presence known.
そして姿を現したい人物なら手紙を託すなんて遠回しをするわけがない。
And if they wanted to show themselves, they wouldn't have used the roundabout approach of entrusting someone with a letter.
ってことは
Which means...
簡単よ。
It's simple.
ベアトリーチェは18人の中にいるのよ。
Beatrice is one of the 18 people.
だからこそ18人以外の人物が存在するような幻想を作り出しているのよ。
That's why they want to create the illusion that there are more than 18 people.
これ見よがしな19人目のアピール。
The 19th person was revealed so spectacularly.
それで得をするのは姿を潜めた19人目じゃない。
If someone were to profit from this, it wouldn't be some 19th person in hiding.
すでにいる18人の方なのよ。
It'd be one of the original 18 people. Unless the profit was amusement.
もちろんこの推理は穴だらけ。
Of course, this reasoning is full of holes.
いくつかの前提がひっくり返るだけですぐに崩れる脆いものだけど、
If you turn over even a few of its premises, it'll simply fall apart.
私はほぼ間違いないと見てるわ。
But I'm almost completely certain it's correct. This is starting to feel pretty creepy. Someone lent Maria the umbrella and handed her the letter. Supposedly, none of the 18 did this. And yet Beatrice was hidden among those 18. What was this person planning, hiding their true form, pretending to be Beatrice?
マリアちゃんの自作自演も疑ったんだけど、文章の内容が非常に手が込んでて、マリアちゃんが自前で用意したとは考えがたい。
I suspect it might have been Maria-chan play acting, but the contents of the message were extremely complicated, and it's hard to imagine Maria-chan writing that herself.
でも、マリアちゃんが何者かと共謀している可能性も否定できないわ。
However, I can't deny the possibility that Maria-chan is working together with someone.
おいおい、マリアは9歳のお子様だぜ。
Wait a sec, Maria's a 9-year-old kid, right?
誰と何を共謀するってんだよ。
What could she possibly be planning, and with whom?
しかも愚直で真面目で素直なあの性分だぜ。
What about her straightforward, overly honest, obedient nature?
ええ、私もマリアちゃんの性分はよく理解しているわ。
Yes, I also understand what kind of person Maria-chan is.
でも、だからこそあり得ると思うの。
But that's exactly why I think it's possible.
魔女に憧れ、その存在を盲信している夢見がちな少女。
A girl's a dreamer who can't help but look up to and blindly accept the existence of witches.
そこにベアトリーチェと名乗る人物が現れて魔女だと名乗ったら、彼女はそれを大喜びで鵜呑みにして信じるんじゃないかしら。
So, if a person appeared in front of her and claimed to be the witch Beatrice, Maria-chan would happily swallow it up, I think.
つまりあの肖像画のごついドレスを着て変装すればマリアを騙すことは難しくないと。
So, you're saying that if someone disguised themselves by wearing that fancy dress from the portrait, tricking Maria wouldn't be that hard?
その論法になっちゃうと、私たち女性陣はみんな疑われちゃうことになるんだけどね。
Of course, with that reasoning, all of us women would become the primary suspects.
とにかくマリアちゃんが何者に出会ったのか。
Anyway, who did Maria-chan encounter?
それの詳細を聞くことがこの謎を解く一番にして最も身近な鍵なのよ。
Learning the details of that question would be the best key to solving this riddle. I don't even know what to believe right now. I would like to believe that Beatu actually exists, you know? I think it would be sad if she didn't. And it would be sad if someone really did just dress up as her. But if I were to believe that anyone dressed up as her, I think I would think that it was Shannon for some reason. Because when Shannon entered the room and they were doubting, or they were questioning who gave Maria the umbrella, she just said Beatrice at the exact moment that Shannon appeared. So that was a little bit weird, you know, weird coincidence, but I don't think it's actually her. But if I had to point fingers, I would go to her. This other series has an ancient ghost woman with horns, so true. I think a little witch time would fit perfectly into this series. Some supernatural element has to exist, you know, like with Hanyu being a god and everything, and looping and different timelines and whatnot. I think it would be fitting, a witch could exist here.
しかしその鍵は少女の心の奥に堅くなに閉ざされてしまったわ。
But this key has been firmly locked away inside Maria-chan's
み
heart.
んなが頭ごなしに魔女の存在を否定し、一体その人物は誰なのかと問い詰めすぎた。
Everyone denied the existence of the witch without listening to her, barraging her too much with questions about who Beatrice actually was.
マリアちゃんは当分大人には心を開かないでしょうね。
She probably won't open her hearts to the adults now. Her heart? Her heart. She only has one. In the dim hall in front of the portrait of Beatrice, Maria was sobbing.
誰もね、マリアがベアトリーチェに会ったことを信じてくれない。
No one believes I met Beatrice.
ベアトリーチェとくれた手紙も見せたのに、それでも信じてくれないの。
Even though I showed them the letter Beatrice gave, they still don't believe. Poor little baby. Someone hug her.
とにかく鍵はマリアちゃんが握ってるわ。
Anyway, Maria-chan's holding the key.
ベアトリーチェが18人の中にいるのか、19人目なのか、それを知る鍵をね。
The key to whether Beatrice is one of the 18 people or 19th people. People?
マリアは頑固だ
19th
ぜ。
people? Person? Maria's stubborn, right?
あいつへそを曲げるとなかなか機嫌を直さないからな。
When that girl gets angry, it's pretty hard to make her feel better.
大人の私より子供のバトラ君の方が機嫌を直せる確率は高そうよ。
Batara-kun, I think a kid like you would be better at cheering her up than an adult like me.
彼女の機嫌が直ったら聞いてみて。
After she's feeling better, try asking.
遺産分配がどうのこうのって話には関心ないけど、
I know you don't care at all about this back and forth about the inheritance.
こんな王道洋館ミステリーみたいなシチュエーションにはワクワクしちゃわない？
But don't you find this Western mansion mystery situation exciting?
マリアちゃんに手紙を渡した人物は一体誰なのか。
Who in the world is this person who gave Maria-chan the letter?
知的好奇心がうずくわ。
It makes your intellectual curiosity ache.
うんざりするような金の話に付き合わされてもワクワクとは実にタフなことだぜ。
You're actually pretty tough, considering you're still excited after being dragged through that endless money talk.
大人はすげえや。
Adults can be pretty amazing. I shrugged exasperately. But I did notice something. Gideon noticed how dejected I was after overhearing our parents' turbulent discussion, and was probably trying to clear the air. At the very least, I'd recovered enough to voice my complaints. She wasn't my real mother, so I've never felt like calling her my mom. But it did make me think she's a real adult.
おうガキども、ここにいたのか。
Hey brats, so this is where you were.
キリエも長え化粧直しじゃねえか。
Kiria, you really took your time fixing your makeup, didn't you?
俺も次からは化粧をしてくることにするぜ。
Think I'll make a habit of going out to touch up my makeup too.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
女の化粧は長いのよ。
A woman's makeup takes a long time.
どう？
So,
兄弟水いらずの話し合いは。
how has the discussion been without me?
さぞや和気あいあいとしてるだろうよ。
I'm sure everything was all peaceful and harmonious. Kiria-san poked the weak spot under my arm with her elbow.
一度頭を冷やそうってことで小休止さ。
We decided to take a break to cool our heads a little.
こりゃ夜通しになりそうだぜ。
Looks like we'll be at it all night.
泣けてくれ。
It makes me want to cry. His way of talking hadn't changed, but he couldn't completely hide his fatigue. I couldn't say I was sympathetic, but he looked pitiful compared to his normal, energetic self.
しかしひでえ雨だな。
Still, that rain's just awful.
ゲストハウスに戻るのも嫌になるぜ。
I really don't want to go back to the guest
夏
house.
日姉さんが 屋敷で泊まれるよう準備してくれたらしい。
It looks like Natsuhine-san set up things so we could spend the night here in the mansion.
どうする？
What'll we do?
3階になった時に考えてもいいんじゃない？
We don't need to decide until you're done, right?
部屋に戻る体力もなくなってたら、その時はお世話になりましょうよ。
If you run so low on energy that you can't return to our room, then we can take them up on their offer.
そうだな。
You're right.
その時に考えりゃいいか。
We can think about it later.
バトラーはどうする？
What about you, Batara?
俺がいちゃお邪魔だろうからよ。
If I stayed, I'd just get in the
気
way.
使って向こうに戻るぜ。
I'll be nice and go back over there.
そうか。
I see.
すぐ戻るのか？
Will you go back soon?
さあな。
I don't know.
一人で戻ったって寂しいしよ。
It'd be lonely to head back by myself.
子供全員で揃って帰ることにするぜ。
I'll gather all the kids and we'll head out.
そうだな。
Okay.
そうするといい。
You go do that.
それで、バトラー。
Also, Batara,
お前、今夜はそうは簡単には寝ないだろう。
you won't be going to sleep that easily tonight, right?
多分いとこたちとおしゃべりしてるだろうからな。
Yeah, I'll probably be talking with the cousins.
夜更かししそうな気配はあるぜ。
Sounds like we'll be up all night.
それがどうかしたのかい？
Is there a problem with that?
そうか。
I see.
もし、大人たちの会議が終わってお前がまだ起きてたら、ちょいと家族でしたい話があるんだ。
If you're still awake when the adults' discussion is over, I want to have a little talk as a family.
なんだよ。
A what?
柄にもねえな。
That doesn't sound like you. Apparently, Kiria-san was thinking the same thing. What are you talking about? She asked him in a small voice. It looked like Kiria-san didn't have a clue what Dad meant either.
キリエにも聞いてもらいたい話だ。
I also want to talk to you about it, Kiria.
後で話すから、今は聞くな。
I'll tell you later, so don't ask now.
頼む。
Please. Is it about the trouble that he has at work or something? Him owing someone money or whatever? I don't know anyone who neglects the concept of family as much as this old bastard. And now he's saying we're gonna have a talk as a family. Both Kiria-san and I couldn't help but get wide-eyed.
そうビビった顔すんなよ。
Don't look so
ビ
terrified.
ビりてえのは俺の方なんだ。
I'm the one who should be terrified.
何しろ。
After all, at that point he swallowed his words for an instant. Even though putting on airs of importance wasn't much like my dad.
気持ち悪いぜ、親父。
You're freaking me out, Dad.
今家族は全員揃ってるじゃねえかよ。
Everyone in our family's gathered here now, right?
もったいぶらずに言えよ。
Don't make a big deal out of it and spit it out.
俺は多分
Tonight,
今夜
I will probably
殺されるだろうな。
be killed. Excuse me? There was a huge crash of thunder. It must have been really close. Dad's expression, brightly illuminated by the lightning, was burned into my eyes. Dad's face, which always looked so sure of itself and which always wore a taunting expression, was strangely frail in a way I couldn't really explain. It was so worn out that he looked like a different person.
Huh?
Oh, indeed! Dad, stop timing yourself to the thunder. The thunder has been appearing at the most perfect times. That is a very scary premonition to have. Okay. What?
何言ってんだよ、柄でもね。
What are you talking about? That doesn't sound like you.
同感よ。
I agree.
どうしたの？急に弱気ね。
What happened? You look so timid all of a sudden.
あなたらしくもない。
It's not like you.
俺も化粧直しに行ってくる。
I'm gonna go fix my makeup
つい
too.
てくんなよ。
Don't follow me. Dad turned away weakly. After that, only Kitty and I were left, still wide-eyed.
なんだってんだ。
What did he say?
今夜殺される？
Tonight he'll be killed?
まさか。あの妙な手紙のせいで、親父ビビっちまったのか？
You don't think that mysterious letter scared him, do you? That expression is, very good.
連続殺人者の映画の見過ぎだぜ。
He's been watching too many serial murder movies. Kiria-san didn't answer my light-hearted words and continued to stare at my dad's disappearing back.
バトラ君はルドルフさんに今話せと言ったら話さず立ち去った。
Batara-kun, when you told Rudolph-san to spill the beans right away, he left without telling us
みん
anything.
なに話すことがあると言い出しながら答えなかった。
Even though he said he had something to say to both of us, he didn't answer you.
どうして？
Why?
チェス盤をひっくり返す。
Spin the chessboard around.
すると
What do you see?
話すと言っておきながら話せない矛盾。
Well, when he said he wanted to talk but then couldn't, that's a contradiction.
なんすかね。親父側から見ると何か見えてきますか？
What? Can you see something by looking from Dad's perspective?
ええ、見えるわよ。
Yes, I can see something.
話したいことがある。
He wants to talk about something.
でも自分から言い出す勇気がない。
However, he doesn't have the courage to bring it up.
だから追ってきて俺に話しかけて聞き出してくれが正解ね。
So he actually means chase after me, talk to me, and ask me about it yourself.
ついてくるなも逆の意味よ。
By saying don't follow me, he actually means the opposite.
ついてきて俺を問い詰めてくれが正解。
He actually means follow me and force me to answer.
まったく甘えん坊さんなんだから。
Seriously, what a spoiled brat.
いえ、
What?
そういう推理でいいんすか？
Can you really call that reasoning?
そんなんめちゃくちゃな。
That's ridiculous.
名探偵や名刑事が男女の気持ちや心を推理できる？
Can great private and police detectives deduce the emotions and feelings between men and women?
できないでしょ？
They can't, right?
異性の気持ちを探るのは何次元のトリックを暴くよりはるかに高度な技術なのよ。
Figuring out the feelings of the opposite sex is an even more advanced art than exposing the tricks in difficult crime cases.
私に言わせれば名作推理小説より恋愛小説の方がよっぽど難解なミステリーなんだから。
If you ask me, romance novels have much deeper mysteries than masterpiece mystery novels.
はあ。
I see.
そういうもんすかね。
Is that how it is?
私はあの甘えん坊さんと一緒にいるわ。
I'll stand alongside that spoiled
普
brat.
段は虚勢を張ってるけど今夜はかなりの激論で疲れ切ってる。
He normally loves to bluff, but tonight he's completely tired out from that heated discussion. I mean, she does have a point about people's feelings being hard to figure out, but isn't that what detectives do too? Because a lot of crimes are like emotional crimes, right? So they try to figure out the motive and stuff, and therefore also the culprit by figuring out the emotions behind the cases. I would assume so. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Crimes of passion. Yes, 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 exactly.
誰かに寄りかかりたい気持ちなんでしょうね。
He probably wants someone to lean on at the moment.
それに応えるのがパートナーの役目よ。
And responding to that that need is the role of his partner.
はあ。そりゃお熱いことで。
Huh? Sounds passionate.
じゃあうちのクソ親父の世話をよろしく頼みますよ。
Then I'll leave that old bastard in your hands.
ええ、任せておいて。
Yes, leave it to me. Goodbye. Why done it is important, exactly. Who done it? Easily figured out, or rather more easily figured out by why done it. I called out to Kitty as departing back.
え？何？
Huh? What?
いや、ありがとよって。
I wanted to say
お
thanks.
かげで陰鬱な気分がだいぶ晴れたぜ。
Thanks to you, my gloomy mood has cleared up a lot.
ならよかった。
That's good.
コミュニケーションは大事ね。
Communication is important. I like her. She's awesome. I love her. She's cool as hell. Lord what? Who is that? After answering with a wink, Kiria's son followed after Dad. Maybe he's already dead. Natsuki could be found in a dimly lit hallway. There's gonna be an ad break in 5 minutes, so I think this little cut to a different perspective is probably a good spot to take a little break. It's a character from the Fate series. Every day I get reminded that I still have to get into it. Someday. From the case files of Lord El Meloy II. Okay. I see. I have to? Okay, I will. I promise. You have my pinky promise that I will actually get into it someday. When I have some time. Who knows? Maybe after the When They Cry series, we'll get into a different series. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna take a little 3-minute break. Hello, I'm back. Sorry, I took so long. I was making some more water. Yeah. Okay, game audio set. Thank you, Amadas. Thank you, Vito. Welcome back to you too. Natsuhi could be found in a dimly lit hallway. Now and then, the thunder would crash, but this had no effect on Natsuhi's expression. She looked completely worn out. The discussion that had just taken place between the relatives in the dining hall was repeating itself inside Natsuhi's mind. Hello, trees. Oh wow, ominous. Beatrice had proclaimed that in addition to the gold, all of the inheritance and property of the Ushiromiya family would be given to the person who could solve the riddle. In other words, she planned to undermine the absolute guarantee that Klaus, as the oldest brother, had to succeed the family head. Originally, the other siblings had absolutely no chance to inherit the headship. To them, this proposal by Beatrice was extremely desirable. It was obvious that they would accept it. There was no need to play some clumsy detective game. Natsuhi knew that this so-called 19th person Beatrice couldn't exist. Naturally, Beatrice was nothing more than a fictional character used to pass a message that Kinzo had written himself. As proof, Kinzo had remained stubbornly neutral as to that letter's authenticity. He was completely ignoring these reckless claims that he shouldn't be able to ignore, that he had given up the head's ring. In short, Kinzo had wordlessly admitted that the letter held his own message. Most likely, one of the servants had given Maria the letter. Kinzo had probably worked out an elaborate plan where the dress from the portrait would be prepared, and someone, probably Shannon, would be made to wear it and deliver the letter and the umbrella. Oh god. When I said that I suspect Shannon, I didn't think that Natsuhi would also suspect Shannon, because she already hates her guts. By doing that, he would make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. No, if anything, that alone was proof that Kinzo was behind all this. In that case, it was the same as Kinzo trying to butt in on the siblings' private discussion. Then Kinzo, by announcing that he'd given everything to the person who'd solved the riddle, would weaken Klaus's overwhelming advantage. Now it was certain. Kinzo had eavesdropped on the siblings' discussion in the parlor earlier that day, so he had known how Klaus had staved off the attack by the other three. And to make the scales of the battle go back into balance, he had sent out his strange letter, which benefited Klaus's rivals. He was trying to push this crazy theory so that Rosa, who had a weak position among the siblings because of her age, would join with Eva and Rudolf. Then, with a 3-to-1 advantage, they'd be able to overwhelm Klaus yet again and make their ridiculous theories get accepted by force. And by doing that, he would give them the power to resettle what had once been a nearly decided conflict. They had now started repeatedly pressing Klaus to pay them a large amount of money, using the condition that all of the siblings would guarantee Klaus's position as the successor. Talk about advance payments was being brought up again despite having been rejected once. Of course, even without the story about the hidden gold, the Ushiromiya family store of wealth was vast. That store of wealth alone was more than enough. Even if the hidden gold was buried forever along with Kinzo's death, it would be more than enough to satisfy. Therefore, even if they weren't that interested in the gold itself, Kinzo had managed to instill the lifelong fear that on the off chance that someone found the gold, that person would be granted the headship. And this kind of Achilles heel would definitely be taken advantage of by someone sooner or later. The only person with this fatal weakness was the successor Klaus. The other siblings had they had been told by Kinzo about something that only Klaus could lose, and they had thoroughly taken advantage of that. Hello, Chiharu! Hi, welcome in. Natsuhi is Klaus's only ally in his painful position, and as his wife wanted to fight alongside him. She kept trying to explain to him that the existence of the gold itself was a farce and that there was no need for him to compromise. Klaus had always told Natsuhi. He had told all of the siblings. He always said that the hidden gold was nothing more than an illusion created by Kinzo. Therefore, Natsuhi had believed it as his wife and had supported her husband on that foundation. Even so, Natsuhi's words didn't reach Klaus. Even though Natsuhi had fought so hard and had lent all of her strength, he continued to fight by himself and was trying to compromise with the other 3 siblings. Natsuhi sadly and weakly wondered why she could not be of use to him and started getting angry. He does not care about her at all, unfortunately. It had happened when everyone decided to take a short break to cool their heads. Natsuhi had flared up against Klaus. Enraged, he asked why she could not be useful to him. He had then told her that he wanted to talk about something and invited her into a room that she was normally not allowed to enter. That room had been sealed with a heavy-looking padlock, and just looking at it had given her an uncomfortable feeling. She will be killed in here.
他の3人の言うことも、ベアトリーチェを名乗る不審人物の言うことも、何も気にかけることはありません。
There's no need for you to worry about anything said by those 3, or even this suspicious person who calls herself Beatrice.
黄金など所詮はお父様が生み出したまやかし。
After all, the gold is just a ruse created by father.
それを見つけられることなどあるわけがない。
There's no way something like that could be
あな
found.
たの後継ぎであることは盤石です。
Your position as the successor is a solid fact.
何を恐れることがあるのです。
What are you afraid of? Klaus removed the padlock on the door. He then motioned for Natsuhi to enter.
入りたまえ。
He's gonna lock her up. Enter.
何ですか?
What's this? Oh god, I cannot read anymore. Do you feel like the story is heating up, Spooky? Do you like it? Yes, I do like it. It is definitely heating up, you know? I really want to know more about Beato. I strongly believe that she exists, and I feel like when she finally appears, stuff is gonna go down. And there was already talk about someone getting killed. People are acting super suspiciously and everything. I have a feeling that soon someone actually will be murdered. And yeah, that to me definitely means that things are heating up. And I am very intrigued. I am very curious to find out more. I would imagine things are getting colder since there was a typhoon going on. No, the heating here is really good. Don't worry about it.
見せたいものがある。
There's something I want you to see.
君に初めて見せるものだ。
I've never shown you this before. Gold. 10 tons of gold in the room. Natsui timidly opened the door with a dubious expression on her face. It was pitch black. She searched for a switch to turn on the lights, but since this was her first time in the room, she didn't know where it was. Klaus entered behind her, pushing her in, and when he closed the door before turning on the lights, the two were swallowed up by the darkness. Only the sound of Klaus locking the door rang out through the dark.
これは何事ですか?
What are you doing?
明かりは?
The lights.
今つける。
I'm turning them on now.
待ちたまえ。
Wait. Just as he said, when Klaus pushed a switch on the wall, a flickering light turned on and lit up the room.
それは?
That is... Natsui had her breath taken away. The room had no windows, and at a glance it appeared to be empty. In the middle of the room, a small round table had been set, and the lights brightened only that table, as if it were the leading part in a play. That is not creepy at all. Tropical storms are caused by rapid rising of warm air, so it could be warm. Interesting. I didn't know that either. Can't wait for Maria to start talking to ghosts and trapping the hallways, as is tradition. This is really scary. I don't know. Klaus is a weird guy. The way he talks to his wife makes me uncomfortable, so him leading his own wife into a room that was previously locked, closing the door while the lights are still off, into an ominous room, no less, makes me very, anxious for her. I don't know. I don't trust this guy. I feel like he would just kill her in here and then leave her. He does not care about her. On top of the table, a red tablecloth of elaborate design had been set out, covered with dust. And on top of that, something about the size of a grown man's arm had been set down. Okay? That something took Natsui's breath away. Oh!
凄まじい純度を持つ黄金のインゴットだよ。
It's a gold ingot of incredible purity. Wow! That is very cool. Very shiny. And the little eagle crest. Cool, cool, cool. That's a very specific size. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe like a chopped off arm was on the table or something. But a room with no windows, a locked door. I have a feeling this room will be very important later on, you know? It's a foot, isn't it? In length? Maybe? I'm not sure. Elbow to wrist. Seems about right. I'm wondering if that would also be considered like a meter? I don't know. Maybe it's more like arm's length would be a meter. It's a gold ingot of incredible
こい
purity.
つがなければ誰も黄金伝説を信じはしなかった。
Without this, no one would have believed in the legend of the gold. It was an ingot of solid gold. Even in the faint light, it sparkled with a noble and dignified glint.
こいつはまともなインゴットじゃない。
This is not a proper ingot.
このインゴットを鋳造したのが国内なのか国外なのか。
I don't even
それすら
know
も私にはわからないんだ。
whether it was cast inside or outside the country. It took a high level of skill to make the purest of solid gold ingots, and in order to verify that purity, it was standard to have the original foundry and the name of the bank that guaranteed it imprinted on the gold. However, this ingot did not have that kind of seal. This mysterious gold bar had come from an unknown foundry.
ここを見たまえ。
Look here.
怯えることはない。
There's nothing to be afraid of.
こいつはただの金塊だ。
It's just a bar of gold. Natsui, following Klaus's words, timidly approached the ingot.
そこだ。
Right there. Klaus pointed at the surface of the ingot. Natsui concentrated on that section. Right there was the thin imprint of the one-winged eagle crest. Natsui's breath was taken away once again. It's pretty visible on the image, to be honest. The OST is really good. It's really awesome.
そうだよ。
That's right.
これこそが親父がベアトリーチェに与えられたといい、保証人のマルソーの会長に任意で一つを抜き取らせて持ち帰らせ。
This is the legendary ingot that father said he received from the witch, that the president of Maruso witnessed and was allowed to select at random to take back with him.
財界のフィクサーたちを信用させたという伝説のインゴットなのだよ。
That gained the trust of the fixers in the business world.
方々に手を尽くして私が見つけた。
I had to use all possible means to find it.
他の兄弟たちより早くね。
Found it before the other siblings could.
そんな。
How could...
じゃあ
Then
お父様の黄金伝説は
the legend of father's gold is...
実在する。
It actually exists.
後ろ宮金蔵が授けられたベアトリーチェの黄金は実在するのだよ。
The gold that Ushiromiya Kinzo received from Beatrice actually exists.
そんな
Impossible!
本当にあるなんて
It really does exist? Natsui was shocked. Klaus had always said that Kinzo's gold was just a fabrication, so she had believed it as his wife. However, the reality was different. Since he held definitive proof, he had been more certain than any of the other siblings that the legend of the gold was true. Because of this, Klaus was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than himself would find the gold he'd failed to find, costing him everything. But to Natsuhi, this truth was more than enough to split open her heart. She had thought that as Klaus's wife, she should be his closest confidant, which was why she had selflessly supported him, and yet he had hid this fact from her until today. Why? This is so sad.
そこまでに私はあなたの信頼に足りないというのですか
Have I been so undeserving of your trust?
そういうつもりはない。
That has never been my intention.
話す必要がなかっただけだ。
There was simply no need to tell you.
あなたにとっては
Is that all
妻は
a wife
その程度のものなのですか
means to you?
落ち着きたまえ。
Calm down.
劇場にすぐ駆られるのは君の悪い癖だ。
Becoming passionate easily is one of your bad habits. I will murder you with my own 2 hands.
あなたがそうさせてるんじゃないですか
You're the one who's making me like that, aren't you?
私は後宮家に嫁ぎ今日まであなたの妻として仕えてきました
I've been supporting you as a wife ever since I married into this
あ
family.
なたのために生まれた家を捨て
For your sake, I threw away the family I was born into.
身も心も捧げてお仕えしてきました
And I've been offering up my heart and my body to serve you.
その報いが
And in return,
これなんですか
this is what I get?
そんな
How could...
そんなことって
How could you? Klaus grimaced, looking annoyed. His expression effectively communicated how much he disliked this part of Natsuhi, even if he didn't say it out loud.
私は
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. He pretty much goes, contain yourself, Natsuhi. Yeah. Oh my god. I hate this guy. He does not deserve her. I do. I deserve her. Now that I think about it, she looks kind of similar to me. Also, like, in terms of what we're wearing, you know? She has a really cool little... I don't know, what is this called? A little brooch? I have a little... not diamond. A little gem. I also have this little ruffled whatever necktie. We have brownish hair. I have more black hair, but you know, she's purple. I have greenish eyes. It all makes sense. I love her. I was about to say, yeah, you could give her a better life, Spooky. She should marry me. Her clothing is like that. Spooky's clothing? I was gonna say. Oh. Purple. It doesn't look like...
もうあなたの力になれそうもありません
I will be of any use to you anymore.
それでいい。
That's fine.
兄弟のトラブルを私が自分の力で解決する。
I can resolve the troubles with my siblings by myself. You can be lucky that you can't see the tracking of my eyes that well, but I just rolled my eyes really hard.
君の力は借りんよ。
I don't need your help.
違います
That's wrong.
これは後宮家のトラブルです
This is the Ushiromiya family's problem.
確かに私にはこの身に家紋を刻むことが許されていません
It's true that I'm not permitted to wear the family crest on my body,
でもあなたの妻です
but I'm still your wife.
なのに私には力添えする資格もないのですか
Even so, are you saying I'm not capable of helping you?
あなた
Are you?
君を思えばこそ、あえて関わらせなかったのだ。
I especially wouldn't want to risk getting you
こ
involved.
れ以上は頭痛に触るだろう。
It would probably make your headaches even worse than they are now.
君は今夜はこれで休みたまえ。
Take a rest for today.
兄弟の話は兄弟でつける。
The siblings will deal with the siblings' problems.
君は関係ない。
It has nothing to do with you.
それだけだ。
That is all. I hate this guy. I really do. I really, really hate him. She does not deserve this kind of treatment. First thought, is Rudolph the best sibling? Let's find out. The fact that she's not able to wear the one-winged eagle really does a number on her. I mean, none of the spouses get to wear the one-winged eagle, so I don't know. I know that she is a little bit special in the way that she, you know, basically runs the Ushiromiya family kitchen and whatnot. But still, I don't know. I feel like so far, even though Rudolph is a little bit of a weirdo and he's a little bit rough on Batora sometimes, he isn't the nicest guy, but so far he seems to be the best sibling. But it was, you know, hitting Maria didn't score her any points. Klaus is just generally an asshole. And Eva, well, you know how she is. She's a little bit of an asshole too. A dull headache tormented Natsuhi. No matter what medicine she took, no matter what scents she burned, it wouldn't heal. In fact, simply wandering alone through the dark corridors and listening to the sound of the rain seemed to be a better cure. She may just be stressed. It may be Natsuhi, but it was never Ushiromiya Natsuhi. I have been despised and treated as a borrowed womb and insulted when I couldn't even fill that role. Even so, I have tried to properly perform my duties as a wife. But now, even my husband has rejected me. I've done my best raising my daughter as if it were the last job left to me. However, I've had no release for my anger and sadness, and they've caused me to subconsciously strain that relationship too. Because I've been excessively strict in Jeshka's education, she dislikes me thoroughly. She despises me for not having interest in anything but grades. There's no longer anything I can do for the Ushiromiya family. No, it's no good. Despite it all, I must help my husband and beat back the schemes of the other greedy siblings. The family head won't be around much longer. Eventually, Klaus will succeed the head. And this next successor will be Jeshka. Strictly speaking, the man who enters the family by marrying Jeshka will become the next head, but it all comes down to the same thing. I have to make Jeshka an excellent successor, whom everyone will accept as worthy to take over the Ushiromiya family. In the days to come, that greedy Ushiromiya, Eva, will probably be plotting to find some fault within the main family. And if all goes as she plans, Jeshka will be dragged down from the succession, with Joji set up in her place. It is regrettable, but Joji is a man and even more has matured as a person. Compared to Jeshka, who is right in the middle of her rebellious period, and whose grades are slightly below average, it can be seen at a glance who is more fit to succeed as the head. So in order to secure Jeshka's position, I need to turn her into an excellent person. After doing that, I want to find her an excellent husband, worthy of the excellent person she will have become. A wonderful man who will truly accept Jeshka and stay with her through all of life's joys and sorrows. I'm sure that won't strain the relationship they have even more. She'll probably be super happy about that. Because Natsuhi will surely find a healthy way to do that and not be super oppressive towards her daughter. I feel so much for Natsuhi. Yukishi is very interested in the difficulty of being a woman trapped in the very traditional patriarchal, I hope I said that right, society. Yeah. I think he really found a good way to show it in Umineko specifically. So far, every single female character has been treated poorly in a way, and it shows in every single facet of their lives, and it's very sad and very depressing. I feel so bad for Natsuhi right now. Patriarchal, okay. Thank you. Was Natsuhi trying to entrust her daughter with fulfilling some desire of her own? Natsuhi thought back to the days when she'd had no choice but to marry into the Ushiromiya family because of that unavoidable fate. She had tried to block that from her memory. She had consciously forgotten it and had actively attended to the life she'd been given as Ushiromiya Natsuhi. What happened to her? And in doing so, she had built up a new life. But just now, it felt like all of that had been casually rejected. How should I think as I live my life? I do not know. Natsuhi helplessly rested her head against the glass of the window. The glass, which was cool thanks to the raindrops beating against it, felt somehow refreshing. Even though it should have been emotionless, right then it seemed to be the only thing that could understand Natsuhi. At that point, even if someone had appeared, Natsuhi didn't intend to pay any attention to them. But she did pay attention, because it was her beloved daughter. Let's go! She spends so much of her time caring for a daughter that resents her and wants to be free of her family. It's okay. I believe that their relationship can be repaired. It's all gonna be okay. They just need to talk it out, talk about the difficulties that, you know, come up with being a woman in this type of family. And they'll see eye to eye. It'll all be okay. A lot of teenagers are like that. Well, she's 18. She's on the verge of, you know, not being in puberty anymore. I don't know. It depends. A couple more years are ahead, but you know. They need to leave Klaus and his fortune behind. Yeah. Screw him.
母さんか。
Oh, it's you, Mom.
なんだよ、こんなところに。
What the heck are you doing in a place like this?
幽霊かと思ったぜ。
Thought you were a ghost. Just like always, her words were rough and not at all like a girl's. Instinctively, words of rebuke rose to Natsuhi's throat. However, their strength gave out and they didn't escape her lips.
ジェシカ、ごめんね。母さんは頭痛がひどいの。
Jessica, forgive me, but my headache is awful.
そっとしといてくれる。
Please leave me be.
そう。
I see. Jessica was seeing her mother in a position of feebleness for the first time, so she was considerably disconcerted. Disconcerted, sorry. Until just now, she'd been filled with contempt for all of the parents, including her mother. But now, those feelings had been completely swept away. Her mother's utterly exhausted face had wiped them all out. All of them need a lot of therapy. Isn't that always the solution to help out the characters in the When They Cry games? Higurashi was the exact same. I feel like everyone was traumatized, everyone was going through some stuff, and all of them just needed therapy and very good friends and a supportive environment. Oh god, ouch. I'm trying to sit up differently. Ugh. Okay, there we go. In its place, the words Georgie had told her floated back up in her mind. Our parents are doing their best in their own way. And because their families are counting on them, they can't afford to keep everything pleasant and have a heavy responsibility to fight. Maybe her mother had been standing around in this dimly lit hallway because no one had tried to understand that in her. Yeshika hated her mother, so she had no intention of speaking kindly to Anatsuhi just because she was looking a bit frail. So when she attempted to speak kindly to her mother anyway, she had to clench her fists and to gather up the words from deep in her heart.
ずいぶん立て込んだ話をしてるようじゃん。
It sounds like you've really got your hands full with that meeting thing.
お前には関係あります。
Gosh. Can you talk any colder to your daughter? It has nothing to do with you.
よそへ行っていなさい。
Please go somewhere else.
頭痛ひどい？
Is your headache bad?
私、薬もらってこようか。
Should I go get some medicine?
構わないで結構です。
You don't have to trouble yourself.
お願いだから、一人きりにして。
Please leave me alone. Natsuhi wasn't being cold. She just wanted her daughter to go far away so that she wouldn't have to bump against Natsuhi's own short temper. Okay, thank you for telling me, Rukishi. Yeah, I know. It's hard. This kind of relationship between them is something that happens quite a lot, you know? And it's unfortunate that Jessica hates her because I don't think she's actually a bad mom. She's just trying to give her the best life possible. And it's kind of hard to see that when you're in her position, when all she's doing is criticizing you regarding your schoolwork, regarding the way you talk, the way you behave and everything. Must be tough. But there was no chance that Jessica would realize this. Okay. Jessica hung her head, looking sad. Seeing that expression, Natsuhi recognized the kindness that Jessica was trying to muster. She gave her head a small shake to drive away her own unkind feelings.
じゃあ私、行くよ。
Then I'll leave.
大人の邪魔にならないように、いとこたちと一緒にいるから。
I'll be with the other cousins, so I don't get in the way of the adults.
じゃあ。
See you later.
お待ちなさい。
Wait there. She called Jessica, who was trying to leave and looked lonely, to a stop.
何？
What?
気遣いをありがとう。
Thank you for being so considerate.
お前を残して寝込むわけにはいきません。
It isn't good of me to go to sleep and leave you alone.
よせよ。縁起でもないぜ。
Don't talk like that. You'll bring bad luck.
心配をかけました。
Bad luck. He's also trying to raise her to be the successor. Yeah. There's a lot of stress on her. I've made you worried.
もう大丈夫です。
But I'm okay now.
私は行きます。
I will go. If I let my daughter see me in this feeble any longer, I'll only make her feel more uneasy. With that thought in mind, Natsuhi left Jessica with words of gratitude and made to depart. This time Jessica called out to her mother's back. Natsuhi stopped and turned around, asking what business Jessica had with her. But Jessica herself didn't know why she'd stopped her mother. And for a while she smiled wryly, muttering to herself as she hesitated over what to say. She was poking around in her pocket when her hand touched something and she took it out.
あのさ、母さん。
Hey, Mom.
私さ、今日お守りもらったんだよ。
I was given a charm today.
なんだっけな。魔除けだったっけ。
What was it? A charm against magic?
確かそのドアノブにぶら下げてるといいんだっけ。
I'm pretty sure that you were supposed to hang it from your doorknob, I think.
忘れちまったぜ。
I forget.
私が持ってても仕方ないし。
There's no point in me having it.
母さんにあげるよ。
So I'll let you take it. It was the scorpion charm that Maria had given her on the beach. Although she'd heard of its various effects from Maria, Yashika's mind had gone blank, and she was just barely able to say even that much. Yashika, thinking that her mother probably wouldn't accept it anyway, immediately drew back the hand she had stuck out, grasping the charm. So when Natsuhi came back to take it, she was extremely shocked.
これは
What is this?
何かの景品？
Some kind of prize toy?
まあその私も多分そうだろうと思ってるけどよ。
Well, I think it's something like that.
こんなおもちゃみたいなお守りじゃご利益は期待できねえよな。
I guess you wouldn't really expect a charm that looks like a toy to do anything. But her mother took the charm from where she grasped it in her hand.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
大切にします。
I'll take good care of it.
ジェシカには今度、私が子供の頃大切にしていたお守りを代わりにあげましょう。
Sometime soon, in exchange, why don't I give you a charm that was important to me when I was a child?
別にそんなつもりで渡すんじゃないぜ。
It's going in a good direction, guys. They're interacting somewhat normally. And also, that gives us a chance to find out more about Natsuhi, possibly, if she does give her a charm from her childhood. It's not like that's why I gave it to you.
でも
But, well,
どうしてもっていうなら。
if you really say so.
では、私はもう休みます。
Then I will rest for now.
頭痛がひどいので。
My headache is awful.
ジェシカもあまり夜更かしをしすぎないように。
Try not to stay up too late. Sure. Natsuhi put the charm in her pocket and turned away. She then disappeared into the dark hallway. If they give this woman any more death flags, this whole island will explode. I was thinking the same thing.
やっぱり明日も丸一日こんな天気みたいだね。
No, it'll be okay. Don't worry about it. She will be fine. She'll be fine. Alright, but I think this is where I will stop for today. I am very hungry. Dinner will be awaiting me shortly. So I want to end it here and look for someone to raid. I'm so hungry. Let me see. We can raid Laika. Have I ever gotten to raid Laika? I think I was able to raid her once. She's playing Voices of the Void. I've always wanted to play that game. I played it for like 10 minutes once and I was overwhelmed by the tutorial. But it's always looked very fun. And you can look at her very cool new 3D model. So, yeah, I hope you have fun with that. First of all, Spooky, thank you for the stream. Thank you! The mother trying to reconnect with her daughter, kill her. No! Do not kill her. I'm very happy. That is very sweet, and it's really good. They should keep doing that. I hope that they can work their difficulties out at some point. But yeah, thank you, Amades, thank you, Vita, thank you, Luna, thank you, Austin, thank you, Trace, thank you, everyone who lurked, and such. I hope that you have a good rest of your Sunday and a good start to the next week. I'll probably stream on the same days as I did this week, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Probably the same schedule as this week too, unless I decide something else. And yeah, that's it. Yeah. Keep doing that and then keep killing them. No. Thank you, Rise. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.